testosterone for your morning drive.
But when you know you've got a problem, how about tell people and be honest? What's going on?
Going to war on cancel culture and bringing the spotlight on issues and topics from around the city of Jackson.
I feel like Jackson, Mississippi.
No one else wants to talk about.
The whole system is corrupt and evil. It's unreal, and they don't care, and everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now, and I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
You never met a white light.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio. It's award-winning podcast.
Boom, shaka, laka, boom. You tuned in to the free-range human show of choice, your daily dose of reality radio. It starts right now. This is the Clay Edwards Show. I am, of course, Clay Edwards, coming at you live on 103.9 WYAB. Of course, we're streaming worldwide and live on the Mazda of Jackson live stream on X, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram by typing in Save JXN, and you can find us right there. We're over at Clay Edwards Show on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. A couple different alternative platforms, but hey, when we eventually get kicked off these other ones, we're going to have to go somewhere. And I believe those will be our landing spots, so we might as well go ahead and start streaming there now, because, you know, inevitably, all this free speech stuff, they're not going to be they're not going to be big fans of it. They're not going to be big fans of it. But then again, hey, maybe we have changed that with these redistricting lines and maps and all of that stuff. And the adults are going to be back in the room, and we will use our congressional power to keep free speech free. How about that? Wouldn't that be an interesting scenario there? Keep free speech free. I like it. That just sounds good, doesn't it? Keep Democrats mad, keep anger addicts angry, and keep free speech free. Let's see here. The Ellis Autoplex text line is 769-241-1944. And of course, I'm broadcasting live inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios, where you can always get a free testosterone screening and explore your options for testosterone replacement therapy. Fellas, I'm talking to you. Talking to you guys. Text my name, real simple, CLAY, to 601-800-5130. 601-800-5130. And let's get you on the road to getting your manhood back, son. Get that manhood back. You will not regret it. Bigger muscles, less belly fat, sleep better, less anxiety, more motivation, better sex life. If I told you could do all that with one thing, why haven't you already stopped what you're doing and text Clay to 601-800-5130? Free testosterone screenings right out there in Madison, Mississippi at Men's Health in Mississippi. They do not have a Brandon location. Make sure that you text the number I gave you. Don't go Googling it. And there's several places with similar names. The location that we do business with is in Madison. They do not have a second location as of yet. They may soon. But right now, if they tell you if you call one of these places, they say, yes. You want to come to our Madison or Brandon office? You've got the wrong place. I can think of 4 or 5 of you guys, as well-intentioned as you were, that hit up the wrong partner. So if you like the Clay Edwards Show, staying on the air and having good partners to work with, I need y'all guys to make sure you're texting the right number, not Googling it and trying to figure it out on your own. Reach out to me if you need assistance, but do not text the wrong number or Google the number and just try calling and circumventing the text line. They track this stuff to see if this advertising stuff works. And when y'all text the wrong number, it goes to the wrong place. Or when y'all try calling the wrong number, it goes to the wrong place. Because it ain't like these other testosterone places are idiots. They know the Clay Edwards Show is a great driver of business. So when somebody texts or calls, they've already got a word script. We used to do this in the car business. If the testosterone place across the street gets a customer wander in there, or they get a phone call, Says, hey, yeah, I heard about y'all on the Clay Edwards show. Oh, well, great. Thank you very much. What's your information? Cool. When can you be here? What location do you want to come to? Do you think they're going to answer the phone and be like, oh, no, that's the clinic across the street. Let me give you their number. That's not how that works. They'd be idiots if they did that. They're like, oh, this is a free customer. Come on in, young son. So that's why it's important to make sure you tell these sponsors where you heard it on WYAB or the Clay Edwards show. That's why it's important to text the number that I give you and use the word Clay when you do it. A little food for thought, a little rant this morning. Hey, if you're watching on the Mazda Jackson live stream, I know you see that new FAFO 316 shirt your boy's wearing. Run over to buyfafo.com now and snag you one. They are all in stock. If you ordered one, you should already have it. Shout out to Justin. He texted me the other day, said, man, this is the best fitting shirt I've had. I need all shirts to fit like this moving forward. I said, deal, son. They should all fit like that moving forward. We went with we went with a little bit more athletic fit this time. All of my shirts are athletic fit, but I think we really hit the nail on the head with this one. This shirt fits good. Good fitting, soft shirt, lightweight, fits great. Makes the muscles look big, even if you ain't got them. All right, so before in the next segment, we're going to get into this Chud the Builder stuff when we come back from our first commercial break. If you're not familiar with who Chud the Builder is, I recommend running over to X and type in the search bar, Chud the Builder. You're going to accomplish about the same thing doing it over on Facebook, but Facebook censors their videos a little more. But he is a white dude that wears a cowboy hat, rolls around Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, in the suburbs of Nashville, and he harasses. Well, he started out, he wasn't harassing black folks. He was just filming black folks behaving badly and inserting himself into it like a sports announcer, saying very racist stuff. The N-word, calls the bad behavior, chimping out, and all of that stuff. And he went viral with a Walmart video of two black women, doing culture rot stuff. And, long story short, they came after him and try to messed up his money and whatnot because, nobody's in America is allowed to exercise their free speech rights and still be able to earn an income if they hurt black people's feelings, gay people's feelings, or Jewish people's feelings to do so. So they inevitably cut off his income stream. And now he does this full time. He's like, well, if y'all cut me off, you couldn't just let me be. You had to quote unquote cancel me. Well, now I'm going to do this for a living. And he's found a streaming platform, some of the alternative streaming platforms like Kick that allow him to do whatever he wants. And he strolls around and catches black people behaving badly or antagonizes black people into behaving badly by dropping the N-word. And then when they react, he's like, oh, look at him chimping out. Look at him chimping out. So I want to discuss that guy this morning, but we're going to wait to the next segment to do that. Give everybody time to get in here, get this day started, get this live chat filled up. And it's going to be a really interesting show because I want this to be very caller heavy. I want you guys' thoughts and opinions on this because where is going to make this different than most other just cut and dry, he's a racist, is really simple, honestly. It's going to come down to our First and Second Amendments being pushed to their 10th power. I think this has got a pretty logical conclusion, well, illogical conclusion, but I think we all kind of know how this is going to end. It ends one way or another, with him dead or with him having to kill somebody that wants him dead. And we're going to find out the limits of free speech and the limits of self-defense and the Second Amendment with this whole case once it goes on, once the crap hits the fan. And there's a lot of theories out there. Is this guy just a real racist? Is just running around and getting his rocks off doing this? Or is he a psyop of some sort? Like, who's paying this guy? I don't necessarily believe that, but you know what? I'm open to having my mind changed. So, and I'll tell you why I'm not a fan of what he's doing, and I'm not going to do it in a virtue signaling kind of way. It's not what I would do. It's not what I do. I'm not a supporter of anybody that runs around freely using the N-word and all that stuff and just antagonizing people for real. You know, I think there's a big difference in being critical of the black urban culture right, Democrat death culture, as I call it. I think it's a big difference in holding the black for a living politicians accountable who just lie to their constituents and get nothing done and just play the race card every 4 years to get reelected. I think there's a big difference in doing that and holding culture right accountable, calling it out, than going out there and intentionally antagonizing black folks on the streets by calling them the N-word and all of this other stuff and hiding behind the guise of free speech. If I ask him, hey man, do you believe in free speech? Yeah. What do you think a white person should be able to say the N-word? And he says the word. And they're like, well, hold on a damn minute. Then that's usually how all hell pops off in these videos. So I'm not a fan of that. I am a fan of free speech. I do think people should be able to say whatever they want. And people can say whatever they want. I think that's where it gets mixed up. And I guess I've spent this whole segment talking about this. But nobody's stopping him from saying the N-word. What the problem is he doesn't like the consequences that come from saying the N-word, because we all have the freedom of speech. None of us have freedom of consequence. And he thinks there should be freedom of consequence for saying the N-word. And, look, if the place you work at doesn't want somebody working there that drops the N-bomb all the time or ever publicly, well, I mean, that's just comes with the territory. You need to find you a place to work that accepts that behavior, I guess. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would like to know where that place is so they could put an application in. As far as now, where I do agree, if just because he likes to say the N-word, I don't think he should be kicked off social media. Because I think it's a double standard. I mean, how does social media know the difference in a white guy saying it and a black guy saying it? Black people can say whatever they want online. I mean, I see them use that word regularly and often. There's a lot of hypocrisy around it. And it's also one of the reasons, honestly, so many white people have black fatigue. It's just the double standard hypocrisy of it all. It's like, y'all say this word like a term of endearment with each other. I mean, Jay-Z said, we took the word back. It's our word now. That's why we use it. We took all the power from it. Okay, well, that's great. But did you take all the power from it? Because it appears that word still has a lot of power and control over y'all and causes a lot of low impulse control reactions and behavior when somebody else says it. It does not feel like the power of that word was taken back by any stretch of the imagination. If anything, because you feel like y'all took the word back or took the word and made it your own and made it this term of endearment, that now when anybody has the audacity to dare question y'all's repossession of this word, you really lose it. Like, just, it's a license to kill. So I think, if this plays out where old Chud gets 86'd in the streets, I think some black folks are probably going to find out the hard way that a mean word is in fact not a justifiable criminal defense in the state of Tennessee. I do believe that they will be found guilty of first-degree murder and probably guilty of what is it? When you plan out the murder. I'm having a brain fart this morning. What? Somebody help me here in the live stream. When a murder is planned and you're going to go commit it, it'll hit me in a second. Very simple word. Just having a complete brain fart this morning. Premeditated. Thank you, Clay. You figured it out without having to look at the screen. You're going to find out that it's premeditated first-degree murder, and it's probably, I don't know if Tennessee has the death penalty, but it's probably going to fall under capital murder, and you're going to go to whatever their version of capital murder is, and you're probably going to get the death penalty too, because there's a lot of these black content creators, former rappers, whatever, that have put a bounty out on this guy. So, I think there's going to be blood on a lot of hands, because it is in fact illegal to put a bounty out on somebody, then them go and get killed, and you pretend sitting back there behind your computer screen that I didn't have nothing to do with it. I was making a joke. I was just a joke. Yeah, ask Robert Mueller how those online jokes are working for him. All right, let's take a break real quick, come back, and I guess we'll start peeling this onion back. I wanted to do a little Tracy Lawrence concert review and hit a few sports things. Maybe we'll do that too. You never know. We're prone to jump down rabbit holes around here. We're prone to advertise talking about one thing and talking about a completely different other. When we come back, I'll open up the phone lines too. 601-879-0002. If you want to speak on the Chud the Builder stuff, let's stay on topic for now. Coming up in hour 2, we got Andrew Allgosser, no breaks, in the studio from 8 to 9 with me. He'll be here tomorrow, same time. Let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. 103.9 WYAB.
.1039 WYAB.
For decades, you've known the name Martin's for good times, great food, and the best live music. Now that's happening at 2 locations, downtown Jackson and Livingston. Check the websites, martinslivingstonms.com and martinsdowntownjxn.com for the many special events and live music lineups. You can chill with friends on the big patio at the Livingston location and enjoy the blue plate lunches and nightly drink specials. Martin's, downtown and Livingston.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Grill lovers already know about Grills of Mississippi, and so should you. Grills of Mississippi carries premium Weber grills, Yoder smokers, and outdoor kitchen accessories to take your backyard cooking to the next level. Whether you're a weekend griller or a serious pitmaster, Grills of Mississippi has the brands, the knowledge, and the service to help you do it right. Turn your backyard into the ultimate gathering spot. Visit grillsofms.com today. Grills of Mississippi, where great cooking starts.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for their Blue Plate lunch specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate lunch comes with 2 classic southern sides and cornbread or a roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repaired? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
You love your land, and you have plans for it. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on our versatile, reliable lineup, helping you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Kubota dealer today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, 0% financing available, or save up to $5,500 off select compact tractors. Sale ends soon. Stop by your local dealer or go to gokubota.com.
Visit Davini Equipment in Madison and Jackson, or at daviniEquipment.com.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse, or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the Clay.
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB, inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios here in Central Mississippi. streaming worldwide on the Mazda Jackson live stream. Guys, you can always check out Mazda Jackson online 24/7, 365 at mazdaofjackson.com. Or, of course, you can visit them right there at their beautiful showroom on I-55 North, right there at Briarwood and 55, over there by Cowboy Maloney's Electric City. You know where it's at, right down the road from another one of our great partners here on WYAB, a complete flag source. Good folks over there as well. But look, they always got great financing options available for those with top-tier credit. But hey, don't worry if you ain't got top-tier credit. You, my friend, can still get a ride at Mazda Jackson. They have programs available for folks that are rebuilding their credit and more. Check them out today. Again, MazdaJackson.com. And don't forget, at Mazda of Jackson, every new vehicle comes with a 1 year free a 1 year free basic maintenance. That's right. Your oil changes, all that good stuff, tire rotations, no charge for the first year. And, you're supporting a locally owned business. This is where your friends and neighbors work. These are the folks that help sponsor charitable stuff, ball teams, all that good stuff, man. Remember, shop local. That is the lifeline of any community. That's how you save Jackson, and that's how you keep other communities safe and sound, as you support local business. When local business moves out and corporations move in, that's usually when the place starts going south. Mazda Jackson is locally owned by the Carr family, and they sit right in there at the sales desk and work these deals themselves, not hiding behind 3 or 4 layers of management. These are good folks. These are the folks you see in the commercials. Those aren't actors. That's the Carr family right there. Swing by, see them today. Mazda Jackson. All right. Let me make a little note here real quick before we move forward. Make sure I try to track everything that I do here on the Clay Edwards Show. Believe it or not, there's a air of professionalism to this show that I don't get credit for. All right, Chud the Builder, man. Now, I've been watching this guy going back, I guess, about a year when he first went viral. And I was like, ugh, that's a strong way to introduce yourself. That's a strong way to introduce yourself. I think I call that full send. That's full send right there. And I made a post about it the day he did it, or right around the time it went viral. I said, man, I'm not a fan of this stuff. It's a bad look, because I know, it makes stuff like what I do much more difficult, because I know a lot of low impulse control idiots cannot compartmentalize. They just see white guy being critical of black community, and they lump it all in together. When it absolutely nothing that we do is the same thing, except we're both white and the black community doesn't like the criticism. That's where the line stops, or the comparison stop. The line is drawn. So the Ellis Autoplex text line, if you guys want to chime in on this, is 769-241-1944. So I just went over to Grok yesterday and I just asked it. Well, I wrote a piece and I wanted its opinion on it. And I said, now give me the public reaction to this guy, and let's see what the public has to say. And I got a post over on Facebook that's got about 250 comments. We're going to dive into some of those too and get some local reactions to what people think of this guy. But Grok says, public reaction to Chud the Builder videos. Says Chud the Builder, real name Dalton Levi Etherly. And I did go through and look at some of his old photos and this, that, and the other. And there's one going around of him dressed as a fairy and all kind of stuff. I don't know. He says that's Photoshopped. I don't care. I don't really care what this guy used to be, what he used to look like. He used to be a little fat guy. Now he's in really good shape, So, I don't put too much weight into what somebody looked like when they were 12 years old. That's not a good barometer for anything. So anyhow, his real name is Dalton Levi Etherly. He has gone massively viral for his provocative in real life streams. That's RL. Says walking around Nashville in public spaces, repeatedly dropping the N-word at black strangers, filming their reactions and pushing confrontations while openly carrying. That's the other aspect of this too, right? He's open carrying. And so it's like challenging them to do something. I got some thoughts on it. So anyway, so the split is this. Critics call him a racist grifter, a coward, and a provocateur deliberately inciting violence for views. Many say he's a cosplay racist who backs down fast when actually confronted, and that his content is designed to manufacture outrage and get banned for attention. Some accuse him of being a Fed plant and trying to start a race war. Let's stop real quick on the race war thing. Man, nobody wants a race war. There will be no race war. A race war would last about 20 seconds. About 20 seconds. Because 13% of the population does not want a race war with the rest of the population. And 13% isn't a valid number, considering that all blacks ain't about this race war no more than all whites are about this race war. You know, one side's got about 1 billion guns. The other side doesn't. There will not be a race war. That is a myth. Now, there may be a war about race that is Republican versus Democrat, kind of like how BLM was probably more white people than black people, more white purple hair baristas. But see, black folks better be very careful about which white folks you think got your back. Do you want Bubba with his marksmanship skills and his arsenal on your team, or do you want Braden, Caden, Jaden, McDaden with his nut allergies? Nut allergy, I said he had a nut allergy. Wink, wink. Do you want that guy with his purple hair? Maybe his name's Tristan. With his nut allergy. I said nut allergy. And his purple hair. And his BLM shirt. Weighs 105. Wet with boots on. Gets scared anytime he hears a firecracker go off. You want that guy in your foxhole? I said in your foxhole. With his nut allergy. You want that guy? Or do you want Clay Edwards and other like-minded individuals? So be careful when the racial war draft begins on recruiting your so-called allies into your foxhole. I said your foxhole. Anyway, supporters. Yeah, that's right. Chud the Builder does have supporters. They praise him as based and fearless. A guy saying what millions think but won't say out loud. They argue he's exposing raw cultural realities and testing free speech limits, and that black people's reactions prove his point. He's already been suspended, demonetized, and had his verified badge stripped on Kick. Clips of him getting pressed, calling police, or pulling bear spray have only fueled the fire. Love him or hate him, the videos are forcing uncomfortable conversations like the one we're having this morning about free speech, race, provocation, and what happens when someone keeps poking the bear in public. What's your take? Hero, villain, or just another goblin chasing clout? So, you know, I don't like his methods. I don't like him going around using the N-word and antagonizing people. And I showed my girlfriend a lot of his videos last night, and just the sheer look of disgust on her face. She was like, I do not like it. I said, I don't like it either. I said, but it's layered. It's complex, because while I don't like it, I have to say I still support his right to do it, because I support the free speech, and I support speech I don't like, because I want to be able to say the things that I like that you might not like. So it's complicated. I mean, the ACLU once fought for the Ku Klux Klan to be able to have their rallies to protect free speech. Then now we know why they did that, because they were paying the Klan. Well, I'm sorry, the Southern Poverty Law Center, but we all know, birds of a feather. So you have to defend speech you don't like. There's no gray area with free speech. There's no gray area. And there's no gray area with the Second Amendment. will not be infringed. Let's take a call. Hey, good morning. You're on there.
Hey, how you doing? This is Willie. I just wanted to say this. No matter whether white or black or blue or any other color, we got to, you know who you are. And if a person calls you the N word or the H word or whatever, it's just like you need to just, if you know you're not that, just don't let it bother you so much.
Amen.
We got to learn to tighten our skin and get thicker skin, and don't let that bother you. You know what you are. It's just like if you're walking down the street and someone called you, "Hey, horse." You know you're not a horse, so why would you turn around and look? Just keep on going, and that young man who's doing that, he's showing his ignorance.
Absolutely.
Why go ahead and try to put a spotlight on him? Just keep on going and forget about that. You're not. So just keep on stepping. That's what I have to say. Clay.
Mr. Willie with words of the wise. We appreciate you. How is your wife doing?
Well, Clay, I'm supposed to be leaving this evening, going up to see her. The last thing I heard yesterday, I saw her. They had her on FaceTime, and she looked real good, and I just continue to pray that the Lord continue to bless her. Okay.
Yes, sir. Well, look, we're going to keep praying for you. Thank you for everything.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Mr. Willie there. If you don't know Mr. Willie, elderly black man, war veteran, I believe, I was told. And I think he's in his 80s. He's lived through a lot, seen a lot, lived through the civil rights era, through true racist times. And, just wise beyond his years. And that's saying something. When guys like that call in, I listen. I take their words have gravitas. I take what they say very seriously. Like I said, that's a man that's lived through it. A lot like my grandmother. She's 92, 93, 94 years old. She's seen a lot. And stuff like this doesn't bother her. Stuff like this doesn't bother. I'm sure Mr. Willie don't like it. It would be very disrespectful if anybody ever did that. And I would like to think that if an older person was out in the streets and anybody was rude to them, that anyone else standing around would handle business on their behalf. But that's right. Mr. Willie makes a great point. If you know you're not what they're calling you, why let it bother you? Why give them the reaction that they want? That's why I haven't talked about this on this show in the last year. But I saw it blowing up over the last week, and I really tried to avoid it. And then I saw where he got arrested Saturday night, and for disturbing the peace, basically. And he walked out on a tab at a steakhouse, but they kicked him out while he was eating and then wanted him to pay the tab. Now, they kicked him out when they figured out who he was, and they didn't like him being there, but they didn't let him finish his food, and then they wanted him to pay. Like, hold on now. I'm not going to pay you if I'm not through. So removing everything about him, just that situation, he ain't in the wrong. And I'm telling you, this is a former bar owner and restaurant owner. If I decide I don't want somebody in my place no more and I'm kicking them out, I've decided at that moment, if I haven't gotten paid yet, I'm probably forfeiting. If I got an open tab, whatever, it's on you. I'm closing your tab out and I'm charging you. But if we have an open, if like you sit down at a steakhouse, this was a steakhouse. If you sit down to eat and, you haven't paid yet and they're kicking you out just because they decide that your presence is dangerous to them, is threatening to them. No, you got to eat that tab, unfortunately. But anyway, so he got arrested for not paying a tab and for quote unquote disturbing the peace. But I don't know, man. That's bumping up against them free speech rights. I want to read one text real quick. Don't know what it says. My buddy Tyler sent it in. Let's check it out real quick. Tyler says, "What an absolute moron." I like it. Miss Angela, I see where you said you were trying to call. That would go on the line 2. I was having a problem with line 2. Let's take a break real quick. Come back. Anybody else that wants to call, 601-879-0002. We're talking about Chud the Builder this morning. What are your thoughts on it? Idiot, PSYOP, racist, what? All of the above? I think it's one of those situations where multiple things can be right simultaneously. Let's take a break real quick. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
103.9 WYAB. Pocahontas, Jackson.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness in Mississippi. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet, so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness in Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply has established a business relationship with our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
When it's time to get serious about work-ready equipment, come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. From rugged Big Tex trailers to durable CM and Legend X truck beds, H&H has what your truck needs to work harder and last longer. For the field, H&H carries reliable ag equipment from Salford, New Leader, and Chandler. Visit H&H Chief Sales in Carthage today or anytime at hhchiefsales.com. H&H, quality equipment, knowledgeable service, and solutions that work as hard as you do.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
For over 15 years, A1 Gear and Auto has been your hometown specialist for your auto repair and maintenance needs. From brake repair to placement to radiators, engines, starters, alternators, heat, and AC water pumps. And more, A1 will get your vehicle back up and running and on the road and in a timely manner. A1 is one of the only shops in the metro that specializes in rear differentials, rear ends, and rings and pinions. Call today to set up an appointment, or if you got questions, at 601-939-1060. A1 Gear and Auto, your hometown vehicle specialist.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Welcome
back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. streaming worldwide on the Mazda of Jackson live stream here inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Real quick before we get to the phone line and pick this Chud the Builder conversation back up. Watkins Construction and Roofing. Man, these storms been ripping through here, hadn't they? Give those guys a call if you've had any roof damage, think you may have had any roof damage. Let them come out, do a complimentary roof inspection for you. They're not going to charge you anything to come out and take a look at it. If you think you got a leak, any damage, anything like that, they got you covered. And they're going to work with your insurance company every step of the way. They've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews on Google. We used to just read them randomly here on the show during these ad reads, but you can go there and check them out there and let their previous customers sing the praises of Watkins Construction and Roofing, not the radio guy. I haven't gotten a roof done. 600 5-star review leavers have, or reviewers have. So I highly implore you to go check those out and consider them for your next roofing job. Like I said, locally owned, locally operated. And man, they just do it right. Michael Deere and his team take care of their customers. They don't drop the ball on nothing. They are on top of it. They're going to work with their insurance company every step of the way. All you're going to know is your roof is taken care of. Boom. It's just that simple. They're not trying to force a new roof on you either. They don't know one job. And I don't mean this to sound arrogant or whatever. This is a company that's successful enough, big enough, without being too big, that they lose track of the people that made them successful. This is a company that's big enough that, they're not dependent on the next customer getting an entire roof done so they can pay their light bill or make payroll that month. They're okay. So if it's only a $700-800 job, they're going to treat that just like they do a $70,000-80,000 job. Everybody gets treated the same. You only get fixed what needs to be fixed. They're not trying to oversell you. They're just trying to take care of you. That's Watkins Construction and Roofing. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Hey, you're on there.
Hey, this is Miss Kathy.
Hey,
I just want to call and say, to me, why use all those words, just to try to provoke people. And also, my 65 years on this earth, I shouldn't have to listen to it. Also, in songs, black or white, using that word. But that's what I was wanting to tell you.
No, I agree with you. Thank you for calling and staying on hold this morning. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, anybody else wants to call in, 601-879-0002. Miss Angela, if you're still listening this morning, I definitely want to get your thoughts on this as a black woman here in America and in Mississippi. So, yeah, Miss Kathy there makes a great point. She goes, I don't want to hear that song. That word out on the streets. I don't want to hear it in music. I don't want to hear it, period. If it's so bad, and we've been told that this word can basically cause people to die instantly if they hear it. If you say it, you die for saying it. And if you hear it, it's worse than any COVID could ever be. I mean, it's time to bury the word. It's time to, if this is going to be the reaction, I don't think any word should be buried. I think people should be able to say whatever without consequence, mind you. But if we're going to play this game, that this word is going to be used at some point, be used as a criminal defense because somebody said it, and that basically saying that word is the same thing as being assaulted within an inch of your life, that you feel like you can use it as a self-defense method. Nobody needs to say it. There needs to be harsh penalties for saying it from everybody, for everybody. They just, anybody that says it, you go to jail, you go to jail, you go to jail. Minimum sentencing requirements, 10 years for saying the N-word. Man, that wouldn't be about a handful of black folks left out there on the streets, would it? That'd be rough. That'd be rough. Good luck. Good luck. That's like Mississippi's new no tattoo law that I told y'all about Friday. Be a lot of people in jail. Let's read let's catch up on some of your live chats here and text messages on the Ellis Autoplex text line. I'm being facetious, by the way. I don't think anybody should go to jail for saying a word. So let me pull it up here real quick. Bear with me 1 second as the text come to another app. Jimmy says, what is the H word? We should listen to him. Oh, honky. I don't get mad at that. For real, a coworker's ex-wife has a legal name of honky, and I'm not lying. I grew up being called white bread, chicken crap, all that stuff. Yeah, so here's one of the multiple reasons why a lot of people, frankly, just don't care that black people are mad. And it's because so often, so many aggressive, angry black folks will call white people any and everything they want, just some of the nastiest stuff. I mean, trust me, I get it all the time. Just crack of this, honky that, just all these things. And if that person then looks at them and says, okay, N-word, oh my God, you call me the N-word. My life is over. You've ruined me. Now I got to kill you. Well, hold on. Now you just called me everything. And a lot of homophobic stuff too. I mean, I thought y'all were allies now. The gays and the blacks. I mean, I thought y'all all came together. Love trumps hate. Why y'all saying that stuff about, why are you making gay slurs? Anyway, I don't know, just the things that go through my mind. I thought y'all was all under one big tent now, kind of came together to defeat MAGA. Anyway, be careful who your allies are. But anyway, they can say whatever. Because we've created a bunch of cancel-proof terrorists in this country with the Section 8 and welfare system. Just these people, they can't be canceled. Because it ain't like if you get offended or they say something racist that you can call the welfare department and get them cut off. Well, they said the N-word to me, or they called me this, or they called me that. And, there's nothing you can do about it. They just got to eat it. Let's take a call. Hey, Miss Angela.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got to go to my top of the hour break here. Will you call back at 8:07?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
8:07. All right. Thank you, Angela.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let's take a break real quick. We'll be right back on the Clay Edwards Show. 103.9 WYAB. All right, I'm going to read some of y'all's chats here while we're in the break. Let's see here. Tommy Tatum, what's up, brother? I see Tommy there, up in the Delta there. Tommy, I was just looking at your Facebook page. Tommy, call in. I'm coming to my 8:07. We're about to go to we come back for 1 minute or 2 minutes, and then we go to our top of the hour news at 8:00 till 8:07. And then Angela's going to call in. Why don't you call in at 8:20? 8:20. Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy, if you can keep it under 2 minutes, you can call in now and we'll take you to the top of the hour. I know Miss Angela was going to be a little long-winded. If you can wait till about 8:20, 8:20 works best. And I'll get you in that second segment in the next hour. Because I know that I'm going to want to talk to Angela for a minute. Let me change my setting here so I can read y'all's chats, by the way. Give me 1 second. All right. Now we can read your chats on the screen better. Well, let's see here. I'm just starting at the bottom, working my way from most recent to oldest. Retro Jordan says, my parents were married over 40 years before my father passed. I guess I'm missing something there. All right, this one, guys. Rosso says they act like their mamas because that's all they know. Yeah, so you see that a lot. You see that a lot where there's folks that were raised in a home with, and this is not a catch-all. This is not a one-size-fits-all rule here, but you see these guys who are raised without any strong father figure around, uncle, stepdad, dad, whatever. And they were raised around their sisters and their mama, and they just see that, or you see women like that too. They were just raised without a strong father presence around, and they think that you get your way by just showing your ass as loudly and proudly as you can. This is not exclusive to the Black community. I can assure you, this is in all communities like that. But again, you know, we're connected to Jackson, Mississippi here, and demographics are 90% Black, and it's a lot of your Democrat death culture nonsense. And so we got a full scoop of culture rot, and kind of get to see it at its worst on a daily basis. We're getting ready to come back from the break here real quick. I'm going to have to be quiet for just a second, but I'm going to stay with y'all during the top of the hour news break. Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. We got about 2 minutes here to our top of the hour break. If you're watching on the Mazda Jackson live stream, I'm going to stay with those guys, or with you guys, should I say, you guys, through the top of the hour news break as we get Andrew Gosser settled in. I'm going to read some of your live stream chats and try to have some conversation with you guys. Don't want to ignore you. We appreciate our online audience as well. Coming up in hour 2, we got Andrew Gosser going to be in here, host of the Andrew Gosser Show. And we're gonna stay on topic here for a little bit. I got a couple calls lined up with some folks' opinions that I want to hear, and I'm sure we'll talk about some other stuff as well. So I'm going to be interviewing this lady one day this week who's running for District 9 up in Memphis, Tennessee, to the new district, the redistricted District 9 that all the Black Memphians have been fighting over. There's a white liberal that currently sits in that position, which I find so ironic. They're doing all this fighting over this fat guy right here, this fat chicken eating guy, Cohen. He's the guy out of Memphis right now that Black folks are just falling on the sword for up in Tennessee. Well, we got a Black lady that is going to be running against him. Discovered her thanks to the Gateway Pundit right here. So. And I don't have her name in front of me. I meant to write it down before I did this, so I do apologize. I will clear that up when we come back from the break. But this one day this week, we're going to be interviewing, I hope tomorrow, we're going to be interviewing her and talking about this whole Black versus white nonsense and why this is Republican versus Democrat, not Black versus white. And that's the way it should be. It should be Republican versus Democrat, not Black districts, not white districts. That is just words and language they use to keep us separated and fighting one another and all that. And we're gonna clear that up. But unfortunately, that is also the world we live in, and that is the language we have learned and had our heads beat upside with the last 10 years. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right. So let me check something real quick. I shouldn't have shown that lady's image without having her damn name in front of me. I thought I'd remember it off the top of my head. So let me clear that up first before we go another inch here. I'm terrible about stuff like that. I'll put the buggy in front of the horse quicker than anybody y'all know when it comes to certain things. I'm almost there. I got it shared in my email here. Not email, my Facebook. I got it in my email too. Probably would have been quicker to got it there, but we're almost there. What's her dang name? Yeah, Bergman is her last name. You can find her on Facebook, Bergman, Bergmann for U.S. Congress. Is what is her damn first name? She don't even have her first name on here. Just Bergman. I guess you're just trying to get folks to remember her name. Let's see if I can find her damn first name here on her website. Come on, man. Learn more. Charlotte Bergman is her name. Charlotte Bergman is running for that seat up in Memphis. Anyway, that's going to be I'm looking forward to that. I love talking to conservative black women and conservative black men. But conservative black women are like the minority of the minority of the minority, because there are just not a lot of conservative black women out there, at least that are loud and proud. Now, we got a couple that listen to this show, and salute to our conservative black women out there. You guys are the real MVPs, because you've got a chance to upend all this nonsense going on out in y'all's communities, because y'all are the big mamas. Y'all are the mamas. Y'all are the kernel of the tank. The black woman has been put on a pedestal in the black community like in no other, from a female perspective. And if we get enough strong black conservative women to stand up, I think y'all could just about single-handedly save the black community. So anyway, I'm really excited to speak to Miss Bergman coming up one day this week. I got to lock the date in today, and I rarely announce anything until it's a done deal. But I thought that was relevant to bring that up. Let's see here. Tommy Tatum says, you will never meet a person more racist than a racist black Democrat from Mississippi. Oh, there ain't no doubt about it. They ain't the Klan blushes at how racist a black racist Democrat can be. It ain't no doubt about it, brother. It ain't no doubt about it. I mean, I've heard some of the things they've called me over the years. It's just like, man, if I said half of that back to you, I would never be able to put my name on a job application again. Hell, I ain't said any of that stuff, and I ain't never gonna be able to put my name on a job application again, just for calling out, just for discussing what I see on the nightly news and calling out the hypocrisy of the culture right. Let's see. Aso Duro says, when using the word, I only dine at the Hard R Cafe. Jackson Crime Watch and Reporting says they are their own worst enemy. Oh, ain't no doubt about it. And then, of course, body cams have also become their own worst enemy. Body cams have become the kryptonite of the BLM movement. Tommy says, I get it too. All based on race. Never an argument about substance. Never, ever. Ever, ever. Ever, ever. And then Rosso Duro says, I trust no politician and revel in the way President Trump makes some of them piss and moan. Oh, it is so rewarding to watch Trump get these folks all wound up tight as a Dick's hat band. This fella says, Retro Jordan says, you do know it's a way to say it and not be derogatory. Well, we're talking about the N-word. What is the way that it's not derogatory? Because I'm going to start using it then, and I'm going to test this theory. Michael Edwards says, Chud wouldn't do that in prison, but in America, as long as your constitutional rights are in good standing, you can say or do what's allowed. But your constitutional rights should always be in good standing. As long as this country is standing, your constitutional rights should be just fine. Let me read one more comment here, and I got to get the camera set up for Andrew. Jackson Crime Watch and Reporting says, he is just keeping people distracted from more serious daily life issues. The racist people we need to worry about are wearing suits and sit high and powerful positions. But honestly, black people need to worry about their own instead of Chud running his mouth. Ding, ding, ding. But what it does is it allows them to take the distraction, take the attention away from all the hell they're causing themselves and blame their problems on somebody else. Jason Whitlock said it the other day, was talking about this very topic. And he said, the feeling in the black community is, if we can just make Chud go away, if Chud the Builder was just shut up, if Clay Edwards would just shut up, the black community could get back on track and get where it needs to go, get back to greatness, get back to everybody being kings. He didn't say all that. I kind of added a little salt in there, like my name and the kings part. But that was the general consensus is, a lot of folks feel like in the black community, at least it's the vibe I get from the black community, is if we would just quit talking about the culture rot in the Black community, that the Black community would be able to excel into its rightful place atop the mountain. Well, I don't know how you plan on doing that when you're still committing all the culture rot, crime, drug dealing, killing, etc. In the community. Single motherdom, etc. I'd hate to be in the wedding business, the wedding planning business in the Black community. Anyway, let's take a break. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show.
And they don't care, and everybody knows that. It's just sad.
And fights for the soul of America.
I'm going to need y'all to explain to me what a positive solution is, because you positive solutions only people have been in charge for a while now, and I'm not seeing too many positive solutions.
Strap in, turn up the volume, and get ready, Jackson, for unfiltered, no sugar added talk radio.
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB, worldwide on the Mazda Jackson live stream. Over at Mazda, well, not over at Mazda Jackson, over at Save JXN on YouTube, X, Instagram, and Facebook, and over at Clay Edwards Show on Kick, Twitch, and Rumble. That should cover about everything there. Man, it's a lot to remember every morning. It's a lot to remember. All right, we are live inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi Studios this morning. We hadn't gone nowhere. Same place we started the show. Same place we're going to finish it. Hey, quick announcement. We're going to go 3 hours this morning, guys. We're going to go 3 hours this morning. Myself here and Andrew Goss are going to cover the next two. Matt Bishop, who hosts the 9 to 10 hour, has had something come up last minute, and we've been called into pinch hitting duty. So we're going to take it 3 hours this morning, which fine by me. I got somewhere I got to be at 10:45, so we're going to have to haul booty when we get out of here. I may be delayed getting the podcast up, but that is the cost of doing business. Let's do a little ad read here real quick, and we're going to go to the phone where we got Miss Angela on hold. Hey, real quick, this segment brought to you by our friends over at, man, look, the storm and all, I think it's important to push certain kind of partners in front of others a little bit. Just a little prioritizing coming out of bad weather. Insurance, shelter insurance, Jamie Krill. If you took on any damage the last couple of weeks and you have a out of state or a national insurance company, you're learning the value of what it would have been like to, or you're probably regretting, should I say, not having a local agent. Go to your Google machine right now and type in Jamie Krill shelter insurance and let Jamie get you a quote today and see if he can save you some money, or just what it's going to cost you to come over to the good side here, man, and get you a good local agent that's going to be able to talk to you on a dime. You ain't got to go sit on hold, press 2 for English, just to speak to somebody from Pakistan that doesn't speak English. I'd rather talk to an AI bot than I would a Pakistani bot. Anyway, you ain't going to have that problem with Jamie Krill over at Shelter Insurance. He's going to be on it, son. Going to be on it. As a matter of fact, he's going to be on this show Wednesday. And we're going to be talking about all this stuff and more in light of all these storms. So let him see what he can save. Let him see how much money he can save you, especially if you're a business owner out there and you got several vehicles. He saved my buddy Marty $50,000 a year with his business. He saved another guy down on the coast almost $100,000 or more. I saved my buddy Johnny, I think $700 a month on his home car. Yeah, on his home and car business. I mean, not home and car business, his home, car, boat, RV insurance. $700 a month. That pays the note of one of them dang things. Let him see what he can save you. Jamie Krill, shelter insurance, home, life, business, rental insurance, health insurance, life insurance. I got it all. Shelter insurance, Jamie Krill. All right, man. Andrew Allgosser, no breaks. Let's go straight to the phone lines.
All right.
Miss Angela, you there?
Good morning. Good morning, my brother Clay Edwards.
How are you?
I am doing good. Listen, I was listening to you talking about everything going on with the show. Now, I don't know this Chud or Chad guy. How do you say his name?
Chud. I don't know where it got the Chud the Builder. It sounds like a Tonka toy kind of name, like something the Builder. I think Bob the Builder is a toy maybe.
Okay.
And I don't know. His name is not Chud or anything. His name's not Chad or anything close to it. So I don't know where Chud came from. It looks like his real name is Dalton Levi Etherly. So I'm not sure the Chud the Builder. Maybe there's maybe the internet knows kind of what the reference is. I don't.
Well, I'll look him up later, but it sounds like, what a lot of people don't understand is dark humor, and people, there is a market for dark humor now.
Oh, absolutely.
These pranks are going. Yeah, I love dark humor. Look, there's this guy out there, and I share it on my platform from time to time. He said, "Hey, free rides back to Africa, free rides back, free trip back to Africa," right? And so you see people, and it's him, and they're white. They're white comedians. And I said, well, let me see where they're going with this, right?
Oh, that's Ari Shafir.
What's his name?
Ari Shafir. He also goes by the Amazing Racist.
That's him. That's him. Is he Jewish? I always thought the guy was Jewish, though.
He is Jewish. But I mean,
okay.
But white people are Jewish. I mean, I think that when we consider most Jews white people, right, in America.
In America, but you got black Jews too. Well, but that's a whole nother topic. But look. So the guy has this thing called, hey, free trips back to Africa. And honey, I thought it was hilarious.
Well, he's also got some really funny ones. He's got some really funny ones too, where he picks up illegal Mexicans out in front of Home Depot and drives them to the INS building, and they jump out of the truck running like fly. It's just, look, he takes a Klan outfit to a cleaners in a black neighborhood with a cross dragging across.
He does it's a lot of foolishness, and he has. Now, on this video, he got beat up, the one where he said free trips back to Africa, because there's this black guy who dates a white woman, and he takes offense to it. Well, my thing is this, Clay. We know all too well that free speech is under attack right here in America. We know this. And if we can start beating up on people like Drewski and the Amazing Racist and other comedians and people like that, then definitely we as journalists will be next to go. I just saw where this guy on the coast, these two guys on the coast, were just locked up for communication, something, electronic communication or something. I am watching that really closely. Now, these pranks are getting out of hand to the point where I think they are about to do 20 years for some guy. He's looking at possibly 20 years. And
that one guy got shot. What was it, last year in a mall somewhere? They walked up and tried to prank a guy, and he shot some kid in the mall, and the kid died.
Wow.
Wow.
And
dangerous,
these
getting
pranks
dangerous.
are getting out of hand.
Well,
but people have a right, and I say this all the time, Clay. People have a right to express how they feel, and I respect that. Tell me who you are. That way I don't have to guess. Okay, you're making it easy for me. That way I can avoid you if that's what I want to do. But when you start getting into people's personal space, Clay, I think that's what the problem is. But with the free rides back to Africa, everybody is not from Africa. So that's why a lot of people in the video were like, man, whatever, and they kept walking or whatever. And he was saying things to try to provoke a response, and he did get responses from people. And I think I'm going to post it after we get off. But Clay, people have a right to express how they feel, even if you don't agree with it, and that's what makes America America. But you got extremist groups who take it to the extreme, and you look up, and guess what? If you align yourself with those extremist groups, then you're looking at getting yourself in some big, big trouble, because I'm not with the carrying the guns and things like that, because I don't want my name or reputation out there. And then this type of talk perceives me, oh, she's probably going to have a gun on her, which we know you have a right to carry a gun in America. But when you start attaching yourself to these extremist groups, then you're going to be in some trouble regardless. And I think with Trump being in office right now, a lot of people are feeling comfortable, and the Amazing Racist is probably more popular now because of what he's doing, even though it's dark humor. But you got a lot of people out there who are spewing racist hatred. And some people say, well, black people are racist too. But let me tell you what that means. If you're saying that a black person is racist, what I was taught is this, okay, by a historian. Black people do not have the resources to stop a white person from buying a house. We can't stop you from getting a job. We don't have the authority to stop a white person from getting food stamps. We can't stop it. But Black people are being blocked left and right. Why? Because the people who are in control of history, as we know it, who are in control of all of the rhetoric and the news stations and the newspapers, you got a few who are Black, but most of the people who are white get to tell you what the narrative is. That's why independent media is so important.
All right, so Angela, I got to push back on you, on this because
I
know that's the whole thing about, Blacks can't be racist, but they can be bigots. Because Blacks don't have power. Blacks have had Jackson, Mississippi for the last 30 years. They've had all the power in the world in Jackson, and in other states, in fact, you got power and whatnot. So Black people have power. Also, it's not about Black versus white. It's about left versus right. Pick a side, and that's the side that has the power, is the politicians. It's not about a race thing. It may used to have been. I know it was. We're well aware of what happened through the civil rights era. 12 years, half of it in a finance office. Never once did somebody get told they couldn't car because they were Black. They got told they couldn't buy a car because they had their credit score wasn't good enough because they didn't pay their bills. I've never been in home finance. I can't speak on that, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say banks are looking to give anybody money they can that they think can pay it back. And I know there's Black banks. Hope Credit Union right here in Central Mississippi is a very Black centric lending institution. And they focus on taking care of Black folks, So these are just two situations here locally, and if that being the case too, Clay Edwards doesn't have power to keep anybody from buying. And I know you say I'm not racist, so I do appreciate that. But let me just make a point here. Clay Edwards, Andrew Gosser, nobody inside this building I'm in right now has the ability to prevent anybody Black and or white from buying anything or doing anything they want to do with their lives. So I don't know about how can I be a racist? I'm in the same boat that I don't have any power to control or prevent anybody from doing these things. I think, look, racist isn't about power. Racist is about hatred. If you hate somebody because of their color or nationality or whatever, that is racism. I don't know that maybe I need to look up the definition. But in my opinion of racism, it's about hatred, not power.
Based on what I was told, a historian, this is how a historian broke it down to me. Now, I don't know if you saw in the news there's recently where they're doing the all-white communities again. I don't know if you know that. And there's a such thing as redlining. Redlining goes along with banks.
Well, there's blue lining too.
Going to stay in what neighbor? Okay, what's blue lining? Because I don't think I ever heard of that one.
Blue lining is Benny Thompson's district.
Oh, that's what they call it?
That's what I call it.
Oh, okay.
When you create districts based just on Black race, that we'll call that blue lining, or we call it black lining if you want. But either way, that is definitely gerrymandering the political system to get to a destination that you want to get to as far as having power and control. So I think that happens. Redlining used to happen. As far as these all white communities, a couple of nut jobs in the Arkansas mountains or Missouri mountains, wherever it is they were doing that. And I've seen those videos. They hardly, that's private property, and those people hardly speak greater good. I wouldn't say that those are all white communities, so to say, and from a development standpoint. That's private property, and those people can choose who they want to live on their private property. Look, there's all Black communities now, and anytime white people try to move back to them, they scream gentrification and racism. It's racism to move away, and it's racism to move back now. I mean, what's not racism?
Going back to that Benny Thompson comment, Benny, of course, we know he did not draw those lines. Okay,
but they were drawn. Like that. But they were drawn to reach the conclusion of Black representation.
But when they redraw these lines, which I hope they do, it's going to be a lot of people wake up, and Mississippi is going to see a lot of people going to vote. This is what I perceive, okay? And I think that they're going to regret redrawing the lines. And I don't think redrawing the lines is a bad thing personally, but I have a lot of people on my side of the town who are fighting, saying we don't want to redraw the lines. What we're wanting to do, I know, first off, the governor said we need to redraw the Supreme Court district lines, and people are getting away from that. We cannot avoid talking about the Supreme Court district lines. We only have 3 justices here in the state. We need to make an area for 4. We need to draw more judges in so that we can have proper representation. It's not that people are not pleased with the judges. We just need one who's going to represent Black people.
But does that
we're saying that they're not fair across when we're looking at the news today, we're seeing people being thrown away, white people being tapped on the wrist, if we just be honest about it. We're seeing the January 6ers being released. Okay.
Well, we didn't see any BLMers get arrested. I mean, at least the J6ers got arrested.
Black Lives Matter.
See, I think that this comes down to what we choose to see. I love you, but I think this is where your algorithm shows you one thing, and my algorithm shows me another. And my algorithm shows me Jackson, Mississippi, and Black people committing murder and getting tapped on the butt and going back out in the streets. It's not your fault that you have PTSD from the trauma of being poor. Of poverty, so murder is okay. Just don't let it happen again. Here's a $100 bond for murder, and then they go back out and they do it again. So that's what I see. I think there being a very lax on crime in the Black community that I live the closest to.
But Clay,
and then Black and white get held out in Rankin County.
That's true, but that comes from years of conditioning. When we're talking about the Black mothers, the fathers were removed from the home long time ago. I know you said why we don't say "Oh my daddy," and on one of the songs I created, I said "Oh my bald-headed daddy" because I had one, right? And not everybody is running around committing crimes. I know you say your algorithm shows you what's happening in Jackson, and we can't get away from that. We can't turn a blind eye to that. Do we need better leadership? Absolutely. Was I pleased with Chokwe Anti-Lumumba? No, I was not. I followed him from the beginning. And I thought that fresh, younger person had a better perception of vision and direction that Jackson needed to go in, all to find out that, there are so many allegations attached to his legacy, to his administration, right? And so we know that there are a lot of people out there who are a part of the Democratic Party who are not pleased with the direction of the people who serve in leadership positions. So we're not going to get it twisted. We're not pleased with what we're seeing in Jackson. We're not pleased with what we're seeing in a lot of these places.
Let me say this.
We got to figure out.
Let me say this, and we got to take a break. I'll give you like 10 seconds when I get done. So I'll give you last word. But let me say this. I think, and I told Fred Shanks this, it would suit Clay Edwards fine if we figured out the straightest way to draw the lines where we had the correct amount of people in each district and drew the damn lines as straight across the state as we could, whether it's up and down, side to side, and get whatever that number is you got to have per district. And we just said, let the best person win. Draw 50, draw on 50-50 Black white as best you can, and let the best, because then I believe you get the best candidates, Black and white.
I believe it.
Republican or Democrat, and let the best candidates win.
That's right.
Now you can have last word.
And I think I heard you say something about people are going to start coming over to the Republican Party. Y'all better get ready because it's going to happen. You got a lot of people who are disgruntled in the Democratic Party. You got a lot of people who consider themselves Clay, believe it or not, you got a lot of conservative Black folks who don't stand for what is happening, but they don't want to be affiliated with a party, but they're going to start choosing.
Well, I think also
they're going to start choosing.
Well, you're going to have the same thing happen over here I'll just say it, on the white side of the aisle. You had a bunch of white liberals convert to being Republican that are still really white liberals, just down there pretending to be Republicans. Angela, I got to take my break.
Oh,
Great
absolutely.
call.
Absolutely, they are. Okay, Clay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back with Andrew Gosler here on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB. Tommy Tatum, you want to call? Now's your time, 601-879-0002. We'll be right back.
Keep it 103.9 WYAB.
Men, low testosterone. Do you suffer from any of these symptoms? Low sex drive, ED. Are you always tired, depressed? You have loss of muscle mass? You're obese? Maybe you have loss of focus and drive? Then you, my friends, may suffer from low testosterone. Let my buddies over at Men's Health in Mississippi, located right there in Madison, check your numbers today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. Check them out online at menshealthms.com. That's menshealthms.com. Men's Health Mississippi.
Grill lovers already know about Grills of Mississippi, and so should. Grills of Mississippi carries premium Weber grills, Yoder smokers, and outdoor kitchen accessories to take your backyard cooking to the next level. Whether you're a weekend griller or a serious pitmaster, Grills of Mississippi has the brands, the knowledge, and the service to help you do it right. Turn your backyard into the ultimate gathering spot. Visit grillsofms.com today. Grills of Mississippi, where great cooking starts.
You know, they call it jewelry fashion because just like clothing styles, jewelry styles change too.
And that's why John and I are excited about all the new styles in Juniker's new spring collections.
We have new bridal and wedding styles arriving daily.
Like bezels and half bezel settings.
Settings for elongated ovals and radiant cut diamonds.
And yellow gold is back in a big way.
Cigar band styles and settings in diamond fashion are really hot this season.
And dazzling bezel set diamond bands make a huge statement on every well-dressed woman.
Come see all the new spring styles in bridal and fashion jewelry today at Juniker Jewelry Company,
Mississippi's largest fine jeweler and your direct diamond importer.
Remember, you can't buy a better quality diamond at a lower price anywhere in Mississippi. That's the Juniker's money-back diamond guarantee.
Juniker Jewelry Company, Mississippi's direct diamond importer. 1485 Highland Colony Parkway, just south of 463 in Madison, and junikerjewelry.com.
Looking for adventure, amazing food, and a little relaxation all in one place? You'll find it at Cypress Point Resort in Brandon. Load up the family and experience a real drive-through safari, petting zoo, and thrilling guided Jeep tours. Then slow it down with mouth-watering steaks at the steakhouse or grab drinks and live music at the tavern. Planning a wedding or reunion? Cypress Point Resort has beautiful venues and cozy lodging. Ready for your big day or just a weekend escape? It's everything you love about the outdoors with a touch of luxury. Cypress Point Resort. Wild fun right around the corner.
Hey guys, this is Casey Ellis with Ellis Autoplex, located on Highway 471 in Brandon. Ellis Autoplex, known as Little Truck City, is your old school mom and pop style dealership that's family owned and operated. We specialize in 4-wheel drive trucks, but don't worry, we have cars and SUVs too. Looking to sell your vehicle? Bring it by Ellis Autoplex, where we pay fair market value and we cut you a check on the spot. Need your vehicle service or repair? We can handle that too. Shop us online or set your appointment at ellisautoplex.com. That's ellisautoplex.com.
Hey, Rankin County, swing by the locally owned and award-winning 042 Wine and Spirits on Highway 80 next to Sonny's Barbecue in Brandon today. We've got one of the largest selections around with over 200 bourbons and whiskeys to ignite your taste buds, more than 50 vodkas, 50-plus tequilas, 30-plus rums, and ready-to-drink cocktails, as well as premium scotches. And get this, we've got over 400 wines in stock for the perfect pairing anytime. Discover your new favorites today at 042 Wine and Spirits right next to Sonny's Barbecue, Highway 80, Cross Gates, Brandon.
Ladies, tired of running on empty, sleepless nights, mood swings, stubborn weight, skin that has lost its glow? It is not just getting older. It is your body begging for help. Hey, y'all, I'm Morgan at Women's Wellness of Mississippi. At Women's Wellness of Mississippi, we bring it all together. Hormone therapy, medical weight loss, and the latest, greatest aesthetic treatments like facials, lasers, Botox, and so much more. This is where wellness and beauty meet, so that you can feel amazing inside and out. At Women's Wellness of Mississippi, the best version of you is waiting right around the corner.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios.
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB, streaming worldwide at Save JXN, YouTube X, Instagram, and then at Clay Edwards Show at on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble, and that's on the Mazda of Jackson live stream. Real quick before we get to the phones, I believe we got J6 Survivor, Tommy Tatum, on the phone, so we'll talk to him here in just a second. But first, how about my friends over at Davini Rental and Equipment? Now through June 30th, take advantage of Kubota Orange Days at Davini Rental and Supply. Featuring big savings, including 0% financing or thousands off select tractors, mowers, and equipment. From tractors and zero-turn mowers to excavators and skid steers, Davini offers a full lineup of high-performance equipment to handle any job, big or small. Serving Mississippi for over 50 years, Davini's knowledgeable team is committed to helping you find the right equipment with dependable service and support. You can find Davini Rental and Equipment in Madison on Highway 51 and Gluckstadt, right there near the interstate. Yeah, I got that right. Find them in Madison, Highway 51 near Gluckstadt, and Jackson near Spring Ridge Road, or you can check them out online. DaviniEquipment.com. I just butchered that. I'm just seeing words that ain't there.
You know what?
Sorry.
Davini's good stuff, though. That's where I go to get all my farm and stuff. They got the best stuff.
Great stuff. Well, I kind of ad lib a lot of these ad reads.
Me too.
And then when I actually try to read one verbatim, I butcher it.
Yep.
So I was like, man, let me stick with my
personalization.
More personalization. All right, man. We're live inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness in Mississippi Studios. Let's go to the phone line. Tommy, that's you?
Hey, glad to have you on have me on this morning.
Yeah, man. Glad to hear from you, dude. Been following you a while, following your story. You've been in the live chat this morning, talking with folks and whatnot. What's your thoughts on this whole Chud the Builder thing, and anything else you want to chop it up about?
I've been following it kind of closely. I don't personally, I don't like the way he goes about it, but I know that he's trying to prove a bigger point. And from what my understanding is, there's a clip you can see with him where some black female's doing something, and he says she's chimping out.
That's the first one. That's the Walmart video that started it all.
First one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what my understanding is that kind of went viral in his home community, and he got canceled.
Yep.
And he got blocked on Facebook where he said he was getting death threats and this, that, the other, couldn't defend himself. So he decided, well, I'm going to go out and do this to prove a point, which his point is valid. You should be able to say anything short of fighting words to a man and him not put his hands on you as a result. And also, I don't understand why black folks allow white people to have that much power over them with a single word.
I agree. I talked about this earlier. I don't know how quick you came in the show this morning. That was one of the things I said in the opening segment was, we were told that y'all took this word back and took all the power from it. But it feels like what you did was give more power to the word.
Yes.
Because you've convinced yourself that you've eradicated white people from being able to say it. Now, when one says, well, you hadn't stopped me, and says it, it's almost that they treat it like it is an excuse to kill, or it's a license to kill now.
Yeah.
And if they kill, I'm predicting it now. One of here, I would like you and Andrew's opinion on this. One thing is going to happen. Somebody is going to kill Chud. And I don't believe it's going to be somebody he confronts I don't think it's going to be somebody he confronts in the street either. Several of these big black streamers, rappers, athletes have got bounties, public bounties out on this guy's head of $50,000 and more for the first person that, not kills him, but, attacks him. Well, if anybody attacks him, he's probably going to kill them. And then, so we're either going to end up with a dead Chud and somebody saying the N-word offended them so much that they had to kill somebody over it.
Yeah.
Or B, we're going to end up with Chud killing somebody that attacked him after he said the N-word. And it's going to make for a very, very interesting precedent that's being set in the legal system.
Well, I hope that doesn't happen. On a personal level, I don't want to see anybody get shot. I don't want to see somebody go to jail for the rest of their life over killing this boy over some dumb stuff. I think what he needs to do is get out of the street right now. He needs to go set him up a podcast somewhere and say what he wants to say from the safety of his own home, because he's going to get shot dead if he don't. If somebody's going to do something to him.
Well, I will say this, as far as like somebody killing him, if somebody's going to kill this guy over words he said on the internet, they're probably going to end up in jail for killing somebody else anyway. But to the point, their life is predetermined to end up in jail at this point if they're so triggered that they would go do that based on some mean words they saw on the internet. Now, somebody he confronts in person and it escalates to that different story. And I think that would be the most interesting scenario is if it escalates to that from zero in the streets. I was just going to say, if it escalates to him or another person shooting one another or both in the streets over one of his pranks or approaches or whatever, like from zero. Like if he walks by somebody and asks them that whole thing, do you believe in free speech? Okay, well, kind of white guy N-word, and that escalates to one of them getting shot. That is the legal precedence I'm the most interested in finding out what happened.
You're exactly right.
I don't want to see it,
right,
but I want to. But First and Second Amendment being pushed to their 10th power there.
I believe that he should have every right to say any of that stuff, but he also needs to be careful with, like, literally speaking, the way when they say something and then they walk off from him, and then he kind of follows them saying it some more. That's what's going to get him with the jury, I think.
And the part that we keep kind of, at least I haven't mentioned it enough, he's doing all this while open carrying as well.
Yes.
as an intimidation factor. And as a gun guy, I don't open carry, but as a gun guy, first off, I'm not a big fan of the open carry guys. I think y'all look ridiculous to draw attention to yourselves like that. But that's just my humble. That's just my opinion. But I mean, I think you're harassing people with racial,
intimidating somebody with it.
Yeah.
You're using it to intimidate somebody in a racial argument, which is not good in the South.
No, it's not. And I think that he's going to be our FAFO champ here at some point. I really do.
I hope that don't happen to the boy, because I see where he's coming from, which is, this is America. I should be able to say the most vile, hateful things that exist, and I still be protected, and I still have my rights. But I also don't like I don't like seeing him do it to people. Some of the people are just walking out of stores and they hear the N-word and they react to it and they get emotional.
Yep.
I get it.
I do too. I mean, look, I say all this, and none of us know, like if me and my girlfriend walk out of a store and somebody starts calling me a P word, cracker, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
It's not that it's those words aren't what's going to offend me. It's that you think I'm the one you can disrespect like that in front of my girl.
Yeah.
That's the trigger for me. Like I really think it is for most people, and it's just being guys as, oh look, this guy can't handle being called the N-word.
Well, let's switch it up just a little bit. All this, we both were been in that word racism used as a shield. Like I do a bunch of stories, and then it happened to be about people who are black. I'm sorry that I come from a city that's 90% black, and people in power are black. I do my stories on there, and it's about, and I get my stories from the poorest black people in the country, the people who live in that community who are sick of being terrorized by other black people, quite frankly. And it's not all black people; it's the black people who benefit, who stand to benefit from the corruption, are the only ones who have a real problem with what I'm doing or what you're doing, I would say.
Yeah, well, it's the same fight I've been fighting here, where criticism of the black community is now racism. And that's why I wanted to do this story this morning about Chud, because I want to draw a line in what I do and what he does, or what you and I do and what he does, because this ain't the same thing. Being critical and covering the news, because I just go to WLBT, Dark Horse Press, APT, whatever, and I find news stories to talk about.
Exactly.
At least the ones on a local level, or X for national stuff. And if I cover something that's black, well, why? Then I'll get sent these other stories of white people that did something. Why ain't you covered this? Well, you know what?
I'm like,
how about
that's
this?
not the point.
I started my platform to cover the stories I want to cover. So, because I didn't feel like they were being covered to the extent that I wanted them, or the elephant in the room wasn't being mentioned that I thought should be mentioned. And that's the culture rod aspect. How about you go start a platform and you start making some videos if you don't like the way I do mine?
Yep.
That's right. That's right. I started mine, and also too, I did a story over the weekend about people just posting on Facebook guns openly, just with complete impunity, because the corrupt cops in Greenville, Mississippi will do nothing about it. And I thought about it for a second. Should I publish this? This is going to cause somebody some trouble. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of seeing little black kids dead on the TV screen. Yeah, I'm going to publish it. I don't care what happens. And you mentioned to me also, people don't understand me unless they understand this. On January the 6th, the cops picked up a stick and beat a woman to death beside me. And I know that anytime I do a story and somebody wants to call me racist or look into my history, that they're going to find the name of that woman who was murdered, and her name was Roseanne Boyland. And beyond that, I really don't have much of a plan. I'm just doing this because I feel like God has set me on this path to tell the truth about what's going on in my home community and what I saw on January 6th.
Tommy, will you shoot me your phone number? And I want to pick this back up. And me and you need to do a long form.
Yes,
at some point.
Absolutely.
We're friends on Facebook. I'll shoot you a message. Or shoot me a message with your phone number.
I'll shoot you right now too, brother.
All right. What is it? We're on the air now.
That's fine. I don't care. That's a call. 662-820-9282.
820-9282.
Yes. And I do take open tips from anybody in the state who's got a problem with corruption or anything. Call me up. Let me know.
All right, Tommy. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Good deal, brother. Keep
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah, thank you. I think you were saying keep up the good work. That's what I'm going to take from that anyway. All right, let's do this. Phone lines cut off. Me and Andrew are going to talk when we come back. I don't think he's got a word in since he sat down.
It's all good. Great conversation.
All right, y'all don't go nowhere. We'll be right back here on the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
This is Central Mississippi's Stimulating Talk.
1039 WYAB, Pocahontas, Jackson.
Tired of the brutal Mississippi sun beating down on your ride or home? Lakeland Glass and Tint in Flowood has you covered. They specialize in professional window tint for cars, homes, and businesses using premium Expel film, plus top-tier paint protection film, ceramic coatings, and full vehicle wraps. Change your truck's color or turn it into a rolling billboard without an expensive paint job. Get a free quote today at LakelandGlassandTint.com. That's LakelandGlassandTint.com. Lakeland Glass and Tint, Central Mississippi's tint and wrap pros.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply is established to our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
When it's time to get serious about work-ready equipment, come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. From rugged Big Tex trailers to durable CM and Legend X truck beds, H&H has what your truck needs to work harder and last longer. For the field, H&H carries reliable ag equipment from Salford, New Leader, and Chandler. Visit H&H Chief Sales in Carthage today or anytime at hhchiefsales.com. H&H, quality equipment, knowledgeable service, and solutions that work as hard as you do.
You love your land, and you have plans for it. During Kubota Orange Days, you'll love the great deals on our versatile, reliable lineup, helping you turn dream projects into reality. Visit your Kubota dealer today for the best deals of the year. Now through June 30th, 0% financing available or save up to $5,500 off select compact tractors. Sale ends soon. Stop by your local dealer or go to gokubota.com.
Visit Davini Equipment in Madison and Jackson or at daviniEquipment.com.
When leaks, clogs, or cold showers slow you down, call on Anglin Plumbing, the plumbing experts who get the job done right the first time. Leaky faucet, sink, or toilet? Need a water heater installed? Call on Anglin Plumbing. You can always trust Anglin's reliable and hardworking technicians. Don't let plumbing headaches ruin your day. Call on Anglin Plumbing Service to get it fixed. And you can be a part of the team. Anglin Plumbing is now hiring. Learn more about Anglin Plumbing at anglinplumbing.com.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind with friends and family? El Patrio Mexican Restaurant is calling your name. With locations in Flowood and Cross Gates, Brandon, El Patrio is the cozy, family-owned gym where great food meets great times. Enjoy El Patrio's signature margaritas and happy hour specials that keep their customers coming back for more. Indulge in their authentic Mexican dishes prepared with love and served in a warm, family-friendly atmosphere. Come to El Patrio and taste the traditions. El Patrio, where family, flavor, and fun come together.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agent Jamie Creel in Flora and Ridgeland, 601-992-6000.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is...
Welcome back in to the Clay Edwards Show, 103.9 WYAB worldwide on the Mazda Jackson live stream from inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. You can always text Clay for a free testosterone screening to 601-800-601-800-5130. I had to remember it for a second there. Say it so many times, you get brain scrabbled. Hey, real quick before we move forward, let's see here. How about our good friends right over there at A1 Gear and Auto, Highway 49 South, Florence, Mississippi. If you have any automotive troubles or you just need to do some basic maintenance, A1's got you covered. brakes, rotors, power steering pumps, not hot water heaters, water pumps, power steering pumps, belts, hoses, you name it. They got you covered at A1 Gear and Auto. What they specialize in, they can do full engine rebuilds if you need it. The only thing they don't work on is diesel engines. Now, your rear end, front end, tear up in your diesel engine, they can work on that. They just ain't working on the engine itself. They can refer you to a good diesel person, or I can if they don't. But what they specialize in is your ring and pinion. So if you're having any ring and pinion issues, you want to take it to A1 Gear and Auto. You don't take it to your regular mechanic because, well, they're just going to do the same thing. They're going to pull it out and most likely send it to the assembly to A1 Gear and Auto and let them work on it. And they're going to do a little markup on it, and they're going to make the money for, they're doing some work. Don't get me wrong, because they remove it and put it back in. But A1 Gear and Auto could have done that too. Took it straight to them without the middleman markup, as I call it. I hate to be hating on the mechanics. I'm just saying, let me pull the curtain back a little bit here. We ain't got another mechanic shop advertising. So A1 kind of one-stop shop. They do it all. So cut the middleman out. If you having any ring and pinion issues, any issues with the gears in your vehicle, take it by there. Let them get it taken care of for you. We're getting into Jeep season. I know you guys and girls like to buy these Jeeps and jack them up, put these big wheels and tires on them. Well, that factory ring and pinion ain't built for those big wheels and tires. Your brake systems are not built for those big wheels and tires. A1 can get you taken care of. Now, it's going to void your warranty when you put that new ring and pinion in there. But if you bought a used one that's out of warranty, get it on over there and let them get you taken care of, get the right gears in there so you can use your four-wheel drive and so you can keep the power the vehicle comes with. Nothing worse than having a big jacked up Jeep, truck, whatever, and you hadn't updated the ring and pinion with a lower gear. You try to pull up on the interstate, merge into traffic, and you're going to get damn ran over by an 18-wheeler because you can't merge over fast enough. And I always tell people, don't do just the back unless you don't plan on using your four-wheel drive. You got to put the matching gears in the front too, or it won't work. But they'll explain all that to you out there. Justin's an intelligent guy. A1 Gear and Auto, Florence, Mississippi, Highway 49 South, big white building, big red sign. Andrew Gosser, we're 48 minutes in. I don't think you've said a word yet. How are you this morning?
Brother, I'm doing great. It was a great weekend. Got a lot done. It's nice.
Got what?
Got a lot done.
A lot done.
Yeah.
Oh, good, man.
Farm's looking good. The Rams looking good. It's almost time to put them back in with the ewes, more lambs. So life is good.
So you've been listening to this conversation that I've had this morning about the Chud the Builder stuff.
Yep.
And the different aspects of it. Had you been familiar with Chud?
No, I just listened to what I heard on driving to work.
That was kind of my fear too about talking about this was I'm on the internet so much and kind of in dark crevices of the internet that I don't know that I wanted to bring attention to the guy, honestly. But once Jason Whitlock and them started talking about it last week and it started kind of going more mainstream within the conservative YouTube sphere, I was like, all right, I guess I'll talk about it now. Normally I do like to be first to stuff, but this is a really sensitive topic because it's important to step up and be like, now, look, this is a great time to explain to you what racism is versus what criticism is.
Yep.
And what I do is criticism and accountability sessions. And I don't care if it's a sop or whatever. He's a plant. I don't care. It's racism.
Yep.
I don't care if he's a First Amendment absolutist, free speech warrior, Second Amendment absolutist. He's using racism as the tool to whatever it is he's trying to do, prove a point with the First Amendment. And I'm just not down with it.
Nope.
And I want to show people that there's absolutely a difference in what racism versus criticism is. And I don't like using other white people's nonsense and to virtue signal or none of that. I don't like when people use me to do that because trust me, it happens around here. I see it all the time. Like people who pretend to be supporters of mine, but then I'll do something that they disagree with and they'll take that and like, no, this is just a line too far with Clay, he should have posted this black woman, being a panhandler on that's racist. Well, how is posting a picture racist? That just says only in Jackson. I digress. So I thought this was a good time to show you this is what Clay thinks is racist. Like if you said that, I guess the definition of racism is kind of like the Supreme Court's definition of porn.
You know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it.
Yep.
This is racism.
Yep. And the thing about it, my personal take on it is I'm going to conduct myself, my family, make sure that they understand that this kind of behavior is not acceptable, and let the public go out there. And, he got canceled, and he had to go to a new platform and go do that. Just let the society itself. Oh, weird in there. Just let society itself take care of the problem. What I really don't like about it is he's open carrying, and as a Second Amendment guy, I appreciate open carry. My pastor in Oklahoma used to say every man is just a little bit more of a gentleman, and every woman's just a little bit more of a lady when you have a 357 on your hip. And I appreciate that, but you're not going out there saying fighting words. You could call that fighting words. It's antagonizing at the very least, and the fragility of that word. I mean, because it is Black fragility when it comes to that word. And I'm not saying anything that you don't know, but our youths of America, Generation Alpha, Generation Z, they're dropping the soft A's all day long, and it's in Rankin. It's in Clinton. These kids are saying it left and right, and they're looking.
We used to say it to ourselves growing up. White guys back and forth. What up, my soft day? I hate having to use these little descriptors. Yep. But we used to say it all the time. Now I'm scared to death to say anything like that because I never know if I'm being recorded or whatever. I mean, it's like two white people can't even call each other a word anymore. Morgan Wallen got canceled. Yeah. All of his music pulled off all the streaming platforms and everything. Had a whole tour canceled. Whatever, because he called his white buddy he's my N-word, my day, whatever, man, hard or soft day, same damn thing. I don't care, but I should be able to talk to my partner. However, me and my partner have decided it's okay between me and my partner. I think everything should be on a person-to-person basis. If me and my white buddy are okay talking to each other like that, then so be it. I'm never going to call my Black buddy a hard A, a soft A, a hard R, soft, whatever. Yep. Because I just know that's disrespectful. I'm not going to intentionally be disrespectful.
Why even keep the word around? It's why even? This is where I come from. Is I don't understand why we even keep the lexicon going.
Well, look, as far as I'm concerned, this whole conversation is gay.
Yeah.
Andrew, let's go for another minute here. Okay. We got to take our break, but we're here for a whole nother hour this morning. If you're just tuning in, we're here for a whole nother hour. Again, I think what me and one of the callers determined was that, you can't let people get you this wound up. A complete stranger that is trying to goad you into something. Because one of the comments or one of the conclusions that Grok came to when I was having this conversation with it about other people's opinions, I was like, gather me other people's opinions and about this topic, not Grok's opinion, but what other people are saying.
Yep.
And a lot of people are just saying that, that they're allowing people to push their buttons. But they're also saying that it's proving people's opinions of Black people correct, that they're, low control and they're acting violently and all this stuff. But to that, I want to be realistic here and say, and I think I said this to Tommy, if I walk out of a restaurant with my girlfriend and some guy starts calling me a P word, a cracker, and all these other things, I don't really, it ain't the words that you said that you chose. It's, you can call me anything you want. I don't care. But it's the fact that you thought I was the one that wasn't going to do nothing about it.
Yep.
Because now I'm going to show you that I'm the one that is going to do something about it instead of just ignoring it like I should. Now, I say that. I don't know. You never know till you're in that position, right? We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Online audience, we're going to take this break, but we're going to stay with you during the top of the hour coming up. But we're here for a whole nother hour with Andrew Gosser on the Clay Edwards Show.
Keep it tuned to 39 WYAB.
The only thing hotter than Mississippi in the summer is a Mississippi summer when the power goes out. This summer, be ready. Call Cowden Electric. They can install a permanent standby generator that automatically kicks on the second the power fails and keeps your whole house running. Hey, you already got a portable generator? Call Cowden Electric and let them set it up so you can safely plug it into your breaker box and power just the essentials. Don't wait for the next outage. Call Cowden Electric today or visit CowdenElectric.com and stay powered up when the grid goes down. CowdenElectric.com.
Now is the time to turn over a new leaf and shower yourself with savings at Mazda of Jackson. Mazda of Jackson has rates as low as 0.9% on select models, or spring into savings with up to $3,000 in customer cash with approved credit. Get to Mazda of Jackson today, where certified pre-owned vehicles and hassle-free trade-in options are also available. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
Craving something fresh for lunch? Bravo Italian Restaurant heard you loud and clear. Sandwiches are back. Favorites like chicken basil pesto, blackened beef shoulder, and shrimp and smoked salmon are ready and waiting. Pair one with a refreshing seasonal cocktail and you're set. Plus, don't miss the new panzanella salad, remixed crab ravioli, and Bravo's incredible lemon ricotta semolina cake. Come grab lunch at Bravo Italian Restaurant today, Highland Village in Jackson, and taste what everyone's been asking for.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policy, empowering individuals. When given freely, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit americansforprosperity.org. Be a part of positive change at americansforprosperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity. Efficient and trouble-free payroll processing is crucial to a business's success, and a lot of businesses are struggling with it. PeopleLease, a local payroll provider, not only offers top-of-the-line software, but also provides on-demand payroll support services. With PeopleLease, you're never on your own at every step of your payroll process. PeopleLease has the expertise in managing payroll challenges and will work hard to understand your business and employees. That's what makes PeopleLease the perfect choice for you and your business. Learn more online at peoplelease.com. Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flatline with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on 1039 WYAB. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flatline with Rick Hughes, heard here on 1039 WYAB each Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.
Broadcasting live from the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. This is the
Welcome back into the Clay Edwards Show. We got a whole nother hour to go, a little unplanned bonus hour for you guys this morning. Matt Bishop, who hosts the Matt Bishop Show here on Mondays from 9 to 10, had something come up last minute. So Andrew Gosser and myself have been called into pinch hitting duty. So that means we're going to go for a whole nother hour. We can stay on this topic a little bit, but I do have a couple more topics I want to weave in and out of. How about the guy that got himself sucked through a jet engine
Oh my God.
on the Denver airstrip out there at the airport? And I got the photo of what's left of him. There's nothing left. That's the photo. It's like, John Cena, you can't see me. You can't see him because there's nothing left of him except like some of his clothing inside the jet engine. I want did he escape from the underground tunnels there up under Lucifer there at the Denver airport?
The Denver airport, the
all the satanic stuff and all that. Was he one of the lizard people that the aliens are about to be disclosed? Was he a prisoner there?
Yeah.
Lots to talk about. I want to talk about the white guy Cohen up there in Memphis too, that the blacks are falling on the sword for.
Yep.
And who knows what else we're going to hit this morning. This is the Clay Edwards Show, 1039 WYAB. Going to be back for another hour with Andrew Gosser here right after the break. Online, folks, we're going to stay with y'all and clean up some of your comments. All right, back to the online audience here.
All right.
All right. We are uncensored for the next 7 minutes here on the, I'm not calling it the Matt Bishop Show. This is the Clay Edwards Show.
Yeah.
So let me pull up your comments here. I appreciate you guys tuning in this morning, man. Hit the like button wherever you're at, wherever you're watching. Hit the share button if you're on Facebook. It goes a long way. Much appreciated. I'm going to just kind of scroll up, Andrew, to just a stopping point here.
Yep.
And work our way down. So let's go back to, it looks like about, man, you guys are on fire this morning. I don't know if I've ever seen this many comments. All right, let's just start here at Zach Scott. This was at, dang it. This was at 8:41, so that takes us back 20 minutes, right?
Okay.
That's a good time there. Zach says, always testosterone supplements being sold to MAGA men. Says a lot. Well, MAGA men can admit when we're having testosterone problems. Democrat men always need testosterone. I mean, y'all are like anti-testosterone. I mean, they sell estrogen boosters for y'all.
SAWFT, soft.
All a bunch of little skinny fat bastards.
Yep.
My girlfriend asked me last night, she goes, what is skinny fat? I said, liberal men. I said, they're skinny, but they're fat at the same time. She's like, you mean like elastic skin? Kind of like people lost a lot of weight and they're just like flabby. I was like, no, they were never quote unquote fat, like obese. They've never had any resistance training.
Yep.
They eat soy. They don't eat protein. Walking is the only resistance training they get. Just soft.
Yep.
In other words, bitches. Bitches.
Used to see the girls at the gym who only got on the treadmill or the stair climber for an hour at a time. That was that skinny fat.
Yeah. Well, at least those stair climbers, man, you work on the butt.
Yep.
Get the booty. I still get booty blinded in a heartbeat. Eric says, I'm a country cracker. I had a buddy of mine, Mr. Mook, white rapper I grew up with. And he had a song called Attack of the Cracker Pack.
Oh, my goodness.
I always use that joke still to this day. It's like Attack of the Cracker Pack. That's what the new clan should call themselves, the Cracker Pack.
Man, clan just need to go away.
Nah, they need to rebrand. Rebrand as the Cracker Pack.
SLCP giving $3,000 to the Exalted Cyclops.
You can't make it up.
Nope.
Can't make it up. All right, Hell State or Hell Straight says, whatever the name here on YouTube says, as opposed to the estrogen being pumped into liberal men who think they are women, Zach. I couldn't have lined that up any better. I didn't even see I don't read the comments before I put them up. That's great. Awesome. That's great. Let's see here. See, this is the stuff that pisses me off.
All right.
And this is the mentality that has got black people so out of shape with everybody, everybody out of shape with them. This is the kind of comments that create black fatigue. Team Hype TV says, go cover your own white people. I wouldn't have nothing to talk about. Not locally.
I mean, Jackson is the largest
city in the state.
Largest city in the state. Democrat since 1990. Black mayor since 1992.
We've never had a Republican mayor.
No, well,
never in the history of the city.
Wow.
Yeah, people just assume that the last white mayor was Republican. Jackson's never had a white mayor.
Never had a.
I'm sorry, never had a Republican mayor.
See, that's crazy to me.
Not since Reconstruction.
We're just lost. So I mean, we're just going where the news is, and you all are making the news, and that's what we're going to follow.
Yeah, I mean, look, we follow the newsmakers and news breakers, and look, black people are trendsetters around here, brother.
29 in Jackson already this year. 29. We're a quarter of the way through the year. Yep.
That's 4 months in. That's 29, so they're tracking. Let's just round that up to 30. 30, 60, 90, 120.
120. Ooh, might be going for the record.
Well, the record's like 160 something from 2021. But it was a bit of 120 the year before. 2020.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, but then 2021 was a beast. Let me put that in rap terms. I'm a beast. I'm a dog.
And we're not glamorizing that. It's not Clay Edwards and Andrew Gosser out there going ahead and inciting all these murders. It's the culture.
Mm-hmm. Also Duro and Zach, the anti-testosterone guy, says that he tells Zach, if you really want to gain my respect, address me as conquistador. Conquistador. Yeah, somebody was in here the other day. I was on my other live stream that I did, my not radio show, but the midday live stream I did when the Tennessee redistricting passed.
I've got all sorts of stuff.
And somebody in there told me I was a proud colonizer. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm a proud colonizer.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I be? We colonized this MF.
And people don't even realize how they benefit from it. They just hear the term and go with it.
I was like, whatever they get told to do and be angry about, it's NPC bots. All right, we got about a minute here before 30 seconds here before I got to shut up. I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and shut up now. The intro for the Matt Bishop show is about to start playing. So we're just going to kind of go radio silent for about the next 30 to 45 seconds, and we'll be back live for another hour. Welcome back in. This is Clay Edwards and Andrew Gosser. We're filling in for Matt Bishop here on 103.9 WYAB. We're still streaming worldwide on the Mazda Jackson live stream for a bonus third hour this morning. Andrew, welcome into the show.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it greatly.
You guys are looking for some grub today, Monday, the Blue Plate special over at McBee's Bar and Grill is chicken spaghetti. If that's not your jam, you can get hamburger steak, country fried steak, hand battered, or hamburger steak, country fried steak, grilled chicken with an array of different sides available every day. See, McBee's and Martin's do it the right way with the sides. They have about 10 or 12 sides that are available every day.
Yep.
So, some restaurants, they'll rotate mashed potatoes out with rice and gravy. Now, man, if I'm eating anything with a crust, I want mashed potatoes and gravy, not rice and gravy. I know it ain't that hard to have both available every day. I ran a restaurant for 10 years. Your rice you can reuse. It can last a day. You can reuse rice. Not reuse, but save and serve.
Yep.
But anyway, with that said, neither one of them places do that. They cook fresh daily. I know this for a fact. I had long conversations with them. They serve fresh daily. But look, get over to McBee's. Enjoy the Rotel chicken spaghetti. It is so good. It's got Rotel Velveeta cheese, Rotel tomatoes, very creamy. It's just not dry chicken spaghetti. And then they have the chicken that's cooked in it.
Yep.
Then they also put the fresh chicken on top. Yep. So everybody's guaranteed at least whatever ounces, 6 ounces of chicken plus whatever you get in the scoops.
Yep. That's cool.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, man. That's McBee's Bar and Grill since Buzzin' Red since 1982, located right there on the Spillway Road there in Ridgeland, on the Ridgeland side of the reservoir. You know where it is if you're listening to this show. You know where McBee's is. Last great Gen X dive bar and restaurant.
It was funny that I was doing my show prep for the show today. Came across this video, what millennials are going to do when the crap hits the fan. And Gen A is talking all this trash and Gen Z is talking all this trash. And what the millennials said is that you're going to hear the Gen Alpha talking trash. You're going to hear the Gen Z talking trash. Millennials, they're going to talk some trash, but they're not going to do too much. The boomers aren't going to do too much. You go, watch out for Gen X, because they're the ones that are just going to clear house. And I've been getting more and more of this type of content pushed to me. And I don't understand why. I think the YouTube algorithm has changed dramatically. The ads have definitely changed dramatically. They're really trying to push you to buy that $14.99 ad-free subscription.
It's $20.
It's $20 now.
Yeah, I trust me. I've been paying for the ad-free. For YouTube Premium is the best thing on the internet, because I watch way too much of it. I have to watch all them ads.
Yep. Well, I might have to do that. I really don't like having too many subscriptions. I don't mind my Restream or Rumble or anything like that. But for entertainment purposes, I don't have anything anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. But Gen X, man, we're about ready to represent. I believe it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, we set it out. I've had this conversation on the show at nauseum. So Gen X, I don't blame much on the boomers. Like if some intent, boomers got a hold to power, and they've stayed a hold of it so long that what happened was Gen Xers couldn't, it's hard to unseat an incumbent.
Yep.
And Gen Xers, especially like here in Mississippi, missed out on the opportunity at the time in life where you got to make a decision. Do you want to get into politics or do you want to get into the private sector?
We went private sector.
Well, a lot of us tried to, well, not me, but a lot of people did try to run, and you can't unseat an old incumbent. You just can't in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And, they don't want to run as a Democrat. You know what I mean? So the conservative Gen X, I can only speak for Mississippi here, but a lot of folks, and don't get me wrong, we got some Gen X guys in there that were able to squeeze in, but so what ended up happening was Gen X goes and starts life, doing whatever, starting family, get started in life. And we're not in these power positions for the most part. And what ended up happening is by the time that these boomers are dying in office at this point, because they refuse to retire, they are the ones that do retire. They do it like senators and stuff. They do it midterm or in the last year of their term. So the governor can appoint, and they just appoint another boomer into the position. So what ended up happening was Gen X kind of got skipped there. And now the millennials are taking advantage of being able to run against an 80 boomer.
Yep.
Or it becomes an open seat, and the millennials are in a better place in life to take advantage of running for these offices, or even Gen Z, not Gen Z, whatever the one is after millennials. Is that Z?
Yeah, that's Z.
I get them all confused.
Me too.
So I know Gen X and millennials and boomers. And then, of course, the greatest generation, my grandmother, part of the greatest generation. She's in a rehab facility right now because her hip broke. But anyway, went and saw her last night. So, man, it's just such a tough generation of folks, man. If you are blessed to have a surviving member of the greatest generation, that's the World War II generation.
Yep.
If you're blessed to have a 85, 90-year-old family member and that is coherent, you need to go sit down and spend as much time with them as you can and just soak up all the history and the knowledge. And I'm guilty of finding myself too busy to go do that. And I'm really trying to, I'm telling y'all this out loud because I know I need to go do this.
Yep.
And because every time I talk to my grandmother, I just learn something new. And, there's so many questions I want to ask her about living through that time and living through the Dust Bowl and the Great Depression. And, it's all these things. And,
they
World War II, the moon, Kennedy assassination,
television.
All these things to television, to air conditioning, to Trump. I mean, just through the whole
Internet,
the 80s, just the whole intervention of everything. Like, how do they? Because if you think about it, we were just out of the dark ages, good, up to about the 1940s, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we had not cable, but we had electricity,
we had radio,
we had phones, we had cars, but I mean, it was just very, very simple stuff.
Yep.
And then, when was the microchip invented, Andy?
I want to say 1960s.
When was the microchip invented? We're asking Glock.
Invented the first integrated circuit, the microchip, in 1958 at Texas Instruments. Robert Noyce came up with a better version shortly after in 1959. So 1958 is the key year.
Let's ask this question here. When was the Roswell crash?
47.
Was it 47?
I think so.
Let's just double check. When was the Roswell crash? It's answering.
Yep, it's thinking.
The Roswell crash happened in 1947.
All right. So my point in that is, within about 10 years of the Roswell crash, see, I was going somewhere with all this.
Yeah.
Within about 10 years of the Roswell crash, we've reverse engineered what crashed there, and we came up with the microchip, and we came out of prehistoric, basically the dark ages, the elementary ages of electricity in the common era, and then within 10 years we're on the moon.
And people argue that, and this kind of fits in with the whole disclosure thing from last week, but people argue that we've actually been retarded in our learning, even though we're growing at an exponential rate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I think what you were talking about, talking to your grandmother, where she got news once a day from a newspaper if she was lucky. And everybody else had to go down to the corner store or to the local diner, and that's where the news was shared. Now, Clay, you're sitting there. What years was Roswell? And we've got like the entire encyclopedia of the human history right here at our hands, but we're not using it to actually educate ourselves. We're using it to swipe right, scroll left, reels, shorts, and just melting our brains. And it's going to show. I mean, I've been talking about this a lot lately with our teachers who are quitting. We have a teacher shortage, but it's not because we have a shortage of teachers. It's because they don't want to teach anymore because the kids are just completely out of control. And I have to say that's something that you and I disagreed on school choice a little bit. But the more I look at it, these kids, the parents are using school as a daycare. They're not using it as a place to educate. And it's you can see society is completely changing and warping into something new. And those who were born in the 1940s, 50s, they're getting to see this rocket ship take off. And hopefully it doesn't burst in mid-flight. Hopefully it gets to orbit. We'll see.
Yeah. So circling back to aliens.
Yep.
So let's just go with the Bible here.
Yep.
And say that the earth has been existed for 6,000 years. Is that kind of humans have been here for 6,000 years? That's roughly the.
There's years, but there are eschatological arguments to make that a year and 1 day in God's time might be a million years in or a billion years.
Well,
So
I don't think the real number is 6,000.
Yeah.
I think that, data shows that we've been here way longer than that. If you believe the mathematical equations they use to get to all this
carbon
stuff.
dating and all
Carbon dating. Yeah. If you believe all that, which I tend to, so using math and stuff, because, math is pretty balanced, pretty racist, it's not religious. It's just math.
5.
So let's just, for the sake of argument, say 6,000 years, 10,000 years, million years, whatever. Just within the last 100 years, we've come out of the dark. Well, let's just say the last 150 years, we've come out of the dark ages, and we are now have this AI. We have all this stuff. We went from having none of this. Just
horse and buggy.
Look at the leaps and bounds we have made, since the Roswell crash. Pre-Roswell, BC, AD, BC, pre-Roswell, post-Roswell. Look at the advancements we've made as a human race.
And that's just what's on the public side. What's on the dark side?
Sure.
There's stuff like people were sitting there freaking out that we have a shortage of missiles over in the Persian Gulf. Well, there's a reason, Clay. It's because we got stuff better. And they broke it out over the weekend. They were talking about the Odin laser, which we knew about a while ago. But instead of spending $1.2 million to pop off a missile, you're paying for the cost of the energy to charge the capacitors to shoot the laser, which is about $2.37 per trigger pull.
Yeah.
And so there's the doom scrollers, the black pillars, and naysayers out there saying, "Oh, the sky is falling. The sky is falling." It's not. It's just this is just my personal belief is that there's a lot of stuff out there that we don't know about, that they're having a hard time figuring out how to bring it to the public without causing mass pandemonium.
Well, so you have that. Then we have a lot of stuff that we don't know how to use.
Yep.
So Tim Burchett and Joe Rogan had this conversation.
That was It
was great. And he said, "Man, I believe that what the situation we have is we have this stuff. We have these crashed. We have these technologies.
Yep.
We know how to turn them on.
Yep.
But we don't know how to use them. And some stuff we have figured out how to use. And I just believe that it's no coincidence that plane allegedly UFO crashes. Then within 10 years, 11 years, we got the microchip. Within another 10 or 11, we're on the moon. And then we've just kicked the door down in technological. It's coming faster than, like, you buy a new software is one thing, but hardware is another. You buy new hardware, like your phone. For those that don't know the difference, your hardware is something you hold physically. The software is what makes it work, and the operating systems. So the hardware can't keep up with the software advancements. We're just at the point that it's going so fast, that we're evolving so fast. I mean, hell, like you buy a phone, I don't know. I'm rambling a bit here, but it's out of date. The technology they could put in here, they have to throttle it back so they don't advance them so much so soon that you're having to buy a phone every week.
Not only that, but
and it's intentional.
I genuinely believe that we're also at a point hardware wise to where we don't understand the metallurgy and the technology to produce the chips to make it think, quote unquote, quantum quick.
Yeah.
Google does have one computer where they ran one test and then all of a sudden it went completely dark, and people are really wondering what happened with that. I followed that. It's actually incredible because it was doing, it would take your laptop from 2026 over 1,000 or 146,000 years to do this one calculation, and it did the calculation in about 5 minutes. So, I mean, the process.
What do you mean? Then it went dark. What do you mean?
Well, once they figured out that how quick this computer was going, super cool. There's a big story on it on YouTube. I'll try to find it during the break, but they put out an announcement that they achieved this level of computing, and then Google went completely dark. You don't hear about it anymore. They don't talk about it anymore.
Well, yeah, they released they released the powers, and now they don't want everybody, coming to them and like, well, what are we going to do? What will it do? All right, let's take a break. Well, real quick, Andrew.
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens?
Absolutely. I think they're out there. Do people on this earth have proof of it? Yeah. Do I have proof of it? No. But when I look up in the night sky from my farm and I see all the stars up there, and Genesis 1:1 says, in the beginning, he made the heavens and the earth. I find it really hard to believe that there's not other life out there.
No, that's my general consensus when I discuss this. Yeah. Do I have proof? No. Do I want there to be? I say yeah, just from a curiosity standpoint, because I just want to know more. Will I be disappointed if there's not? No. Will any human on earth be able to convince me there's not?
No.
Because nobody knows. I mean, I think it's the most arrogant, narcissistic thing we could possibly do as a race of people, is to assume we're the only thing out there.
And
there's a lot of out there.
There's a whole lot of out there.
There's a whole lot out there.
The thing about it is that do we really want to be found out? Do we want to end up being farmed? If that's how it goes, or if are we that much of an instigation to where all of a sudden now we're having to be told, hey, put your nukes back in your containers and start behaving like big kids on the block now? Because
they say a big spike in all these UFO sightings started
right after the nukes.
Right after the nukes.
Yep.
And they say that there's always a high volume of reporting of these things around nuclear silos and hot spots where war could pop off. So it's interesting. Let's take a break. We'll be right back here with Andrew Gosser. I'm Clay Edwards. We are filling in for Matt Bishop here in this third hour this morning. Online audience, don't go nowhere. We're going to check up on some of your live chats here during the break on the Mazda Jackson live stream. Radio, ripped it back.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't play any of his bumper music and stuff because I'll get pinged for a copyright because he uses real music. Let's check out some of the live chats here. I just wanted a hard pivot from that last conversation.
Yeah,
let's cleanse the palate a little bit after all the
aliens,
the race talk stuff. But whether you believe in race, whether you believe in aliens or not, I do think that it is really interesting to see how quick we advanced.
Yeah,
technologically from post crash.
Yeah, that seems to be the line of demarcation of where, the Industrial Revolution.
And they also crashed, 2 years after we used the nukes.
Yep.
And you can make an argument that the nuke, maybe there was a crash before that.
Well, they said that they found archaeological items, I think is what the word they used, that, are supposedly thousands and thousands of years old. I mean, how the hell did the pyramids get here?
That's the ancient alien stuff is really what piques my interest the most.
I mean, and they're finding pyramids all over South America, all over Central America, all over Europe. I'm sure that they exist in China and Russia and India too. But I mean, you wonder how they do that because we don't have the technology today right now, Clay, even with our supercomputers and all of our construction and engineering prowess, we could not build the pyramids today.
Well, they also tell us that all these kings and all that stuff that are buried there with their oblong shaped heads and all stuff, they're all humans, and that those heads were created like that because they wore, bandages or whatever, bands, and it shaped their skulls from a young age all the way up. And that's a tough pill to swallow the older you get.
Yep.
And these people look like aliens, at least the drawings and depictions of them do, and the shapes of their bodies and stuff. It's a hard pill to swallow, believing what we're told. And then, you have this technology, this LiDAR stuff that's coming out about what's under the pyramids.
Dude, that LiDAR stuff is
and
crazy.
The pyramids are they're just the eraser at the top of the pencil.
Yep.
I mean, what's under them is what's phenomenal. And then you have to go, how did they build this however many thousands of years ago?
Yep. The Russians dug a hole into the earth 2 kilometers deep, and it took them almost a decade. And you looking at these pillars underneath the Great Pyramids that are 2 and 3, 4 kilometers, not miles, kilometers deep. And we're wondering, how the heck do you get that? And what's the purpose of it too? I mean, you just don't drill a cylinder, 4 kilometers into the earth for no reason. I mean, there's got to be a purpose for it. I mean, kids, we all, when we were growing up, us Gen Xers, we wanted to dig a hole to China. We got about 2 feet deep and said, let's go fishing.
Yeah.
take the worms and go. To drill a hole like that archaeology is fascinating to me. The technology is fascinating to me. I'd like to have some real disclosure on that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's that's the kind of stuff that I look at and say, okay, this is interesting. This is calls for question. Not people who claim they saw little green men or got abducted by aliens or none of that stuff. I don't care about that stuff. That's all BS. But the stuff that's here on Earth that predates our knowledge, what they call our knowledge.
Yep.
That's the stuff that I find really interesting. It's like, man, how did they do it? We're back from break.
Yep.
Welcome back in to the Matt Bishop Show. We got Clay Edwards and Andrew Gosser filling in for Matt here on 103.9 WYAB. We're streaming worldwide on WYAB.com for the audio only version, and we are in stunning HD on all of my social media platforms over at the Mazda Jackson live stream. You can just search Save JXN on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram, or you can search Clay Edwards Show on Rumble, Twitch, and Kick. That's a lot. Hit subscribe while you're there. Hit the like button. Share it with somebody on what platform you're working on. And we appreciate you tuning in. Real quick, this segment brought to you by our friends over at Metal Builder Supply in Pearl, Mississippi. Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through their commitment, experience, dependability, and expertise, Metal Builder Supply has established a business relationship with their customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply. You can look at them online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com. That's metalbuildersupplypearl.com. All right, if you want to call into the show, chime in on this topic or anything else, just chop it up with me and Andrew. The phone number here in the studio is 601-879-0002 from inside the Men's Health and Women's Wellness of Mississippi studios. Again, the phone line, 601-879-0002. Yeah, look, I wanted to, this alien stuff really interests me. What I was saying during the break, and we can change gears here or shift gears. You don't change gears, you change topics, shift gears. So it's just that, look, man, do I believe in abduction stuff and all that? I don't know. I'm maybe, if you show me some evidence that it happened, I would believe it, but what I really find interesting, what me and Andrew were talking about, is just the lost knowledge stuff, the pyramids, what's under the pyramids. It's all coming out with this LiDAR information. I mean, just how did we do it? There's either some extreme lost knowledge here, some knowledge that's intentionally being kept from us. There's some history that we aren't privileged to. And damn it, I want to know.
I do too. And what's going on in Antarctica too. That's really fascinating.
Right. And you have one of the guys that's on this this disclosure committee that the president has appointed that came out on Clay and Buck last week, or Benny Johnson show, I'm sorry, and said straight up, we have a craft that is too big to move. It's in another country, but apparently we've built a U.S. base around it. And we've built a building over this thing so we can reverse engineer it. And he's like, he's going to get to go see this thing. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me we got something.
Yeah.
And well, something most likely flew that here, unless it was done, of course, by like it's a big drone.
I don't know. I mean, when you start thinking about light years and billions of light years, and we're looking across our galaxy, and it's billion years ago just for that light to get here today. So what you're seeing is a billion years old. It's crazy. But there's a lot of people who are doing a lot of work on lost technology, ancient civilizations. You've got Graham Hancock, who's still alive. They haven't killed him yet. Randall Carlson, they haven't killed him yet. They did kill Stephen Willock. I think his name was Steve Willock. He was one of these NASA disclosure people who, there's 12 of them now that have been bumped off. And I mean, they're starting to put all the pieces together, and it's fascinating to me. And, well,
most of these people they weren't working on UFO stuff. They were working on, well, not that they would tell anybody, but they were working on advanced alternate energy stuff
or
and,
metallurgies.
Yeah, and that's why they're being knocked off. Is now that once they've discovered whatever, they're killing them allegedly.
Yep.
They're killing them so they won't tell people that this technology exists.
Or they've actually already reverse engineered it, and they don't want it going out to the public.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They've cracked the code, and now they have to be cracked.
Yep. And
this ain't no coincidence that 12 people all working on this stuff all disappear within about a year of each other, however long it's been. This ain't no accident.
I'm going to explain compartmentalization in the military and in the civilian world without getting myself in trouble.
Hold that thought for 1 second. Let's take a call real quick. Let's try it one more time. Caller, there's some we got a bad. Let's try this. Man, caller, we got a bad feed. Call back. I apologize. We'll come straight to you when Andrew gets through talking about compartmentalization.
So you have a program, and we are designing this Coke bottle, but this is a top secret Coke bottle. First of all, you've got to have a top secret clearance to get into that Coke bottle problem. Now you have someone who's going to design the cap, the bottle, the screw, and you will have 100 people working on the design of this cap, but they won't even know who they're.
Well, the people who built the atomic bombs had no clue what they were doing. It was all compartmentalized.
There was a couple
all over the country.
There was a couple that was married together, and one was working on the fuse, and one was working on the clock.
Yep.
And they didn't even know, and they were married, and they didn't even tell each other, which is kind of crazy. Because
Burchett told that story on Rogan.
Yeah, Pillow Talk. You'd think, hey, what are you working on? But they didn't even do that.
Yep.
It's fascinating. I do watch Graham Hancock, and I do watch Randall Carlson from time to time. Sacred geometry is really interesting to me. Numerology, it's very prevalent, and it's funny how all of this knowledge is now starting to resurface again. And it'll be interesting to see what we use with our cell phone devices. Are we going to use it to actually get smarter? Or are we just going to mind rot ourselves? You look at some of these kids today, you would say that it's not looking too good for the majority of humans. Can't make decisions without their cell phones in their AI chatbot. It's scary to me.
Miss Angela over at Mike TV says with a $9.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Miss Angela. Says, what's the purpose of Area 51 and how come it's off limits? Now, the civilian answer for me, and I'll let Andrew answer. The civilian answer is, well, that's of course where the aliens are, and they don't want our asses over there. But I think the official answer is it's a top secret Air Force base where they do military testing and whatnot. Andrew, you got any ideas?
What you said.
Yeah, I think that's about right. The official and the unofficial answer are both right, but I think the aliens are actually at Wright-Patterson in Ohio, right? Hangar 18.
That is the apparent going in theory is that the Roswell crash, all the wreckage was flown to Wright-Pat.
Yeah,
and they actually built underground, and they put it all underground.
And that's in Ohio, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, so that's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base there, and again, that's where the real stuff is happening. As far as Area 51, it's been so glamorized and whatnot over the years and sensationalized.
Lots of flight testing, and that's where the SR-71 and the A-12 were, which is the predecessor to the SR-71, the single seat model that the CIA actually flew, and then the Air Force had the SR-71. So that's where all that was put together and working on.
All right, let's try this phone call one more time. All right, sounds much better. Hey,
how
caller.
you doing? We were real noisy there a minute ago. How are you today?
Man, I'm good. How about yourself?
Doing good. I want to take a little issue with what Andrew said a moment ago about the one day being as 1,000 years, 1,000 years as a day.
Okay.
Yep.
If you look at the book of Genesis, whenever he talks about the creation of the earth, it says morning and evening were the first day.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say 1,000 years, it says the first day, 24-hour period. So the Lord created in 6 days the earth, and then on the seventh day he rested. Now, you can take that a little further. If you look over in the book of Matthew, when Jesus was talking about the end times, he said, unless these days be shortened, not even the elect would make it. That adds to the question, could God make a day longer or could he make it shorter? He created the heavens and the earth, so obviously he can do anything he wants to do. The third thing is, I believe from my studies of Scripture that God is able to do whatever he wants to, whenever he wants to do it, because he's sovereign. He is the God of the universe. And our absolute source of truth is found in the Word of God. In the book of Daniel, when Daniel was given the 69-year prophecy, he said, in the latter days, knowledge will wax greater and greater. And that's exactly what's happening today. Men are getting more smarter on their own abilities, I guess you would say. And it's just being exponentially growing. Yep. As far as aliens are concerned, I see no proof in Scripture, which is my source of absolute truth, where there's anything mentioned about outer space aliens. So that's the only thing that I have to go on. I'm not going to allow it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's a biblical worldview. Jameson would be right there with you too, man. And I'm not arguing or disagreeing with your take at all. When we read script,
hold on. Hey, we're gonna give you the rest of the reply off there, brother. Off the phone. I appreciate you, man. We're getting a little feedback, but great call. Thank you so much.
Yep. And it's a shame that the phone line wonky. I had actually reset the phone box the other day, but your worldviews your biblical worldviews aren't wrong. And what we're finding out more and more is we're trying to find how some of this stuff fits into the Bible. It was covered all over the news. Apparently, some government agency agents briefed a bunch of pastors in Tennessee about this.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're seeing all this eschatology come out about, could there be space aliens? Could there be
for the first time religion's even addressing this?
Yeah,
the first time in my lifetime. And there's this fear that there's been this, at least on ancient aliens and a lot of these conspiracy theory shows, whatever, they talk about what's the church that's withholding that. Like, what does the Catholic Church have? They're withholding. They say people will abandon religion if they find out that there are aliens. And like this fella here, and God bless his biblical worldview. I have no problem with that at all. I respect that. At least you're obedient to the word. I have to open my mind up to more possibilities than just what's in there. And I can believe that, but I think two things can be right. And maybe I'm not a true believer. Maybe that makes me a bad Christian. I don't know, but I have to believe there's more out there. If we see it, it's hard to deny. Don't tell me don't believe my lying eyes just because the Bible doesn't confirm it. There's some stuff that the book of Enoch got left out too, and it does talk about aliens and stuff.
Yeah, we could talk about that in the next segment if we want to, because I've been itching that. Both the sweet bee and my wife and I have done that. Why are certain books left out of the Bible that were circulating during that time? And that's like a whole week.
You got to get to a break.
Here. Let's take a break.
And call or stay on hold. We'll hit that too. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. We got 20 more minutes with Clay and Andrew filling in for Matt Bishop here on the Matt Bishop Show.
Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association wants you to stay away from downed power lines. Downed power lines carry the risk of deadly electric shock, even if the broken wire is not sparking. If a wire is crossing a road or driveway, avoid the area and keep others away. If you see a downed power line, back away and call your utility company or 911. When you call, be prepared to provide the specific address or location of the downed power line so a repair crew can get there as quickly as possible. This safety message brought to you by Yazoo Valley Electric Power Association.
Hello, I'm Gary Jolly from the Tractor Store. LS Tractor understands your passion for the land, and just like you, LS Tractor is committed to excellence and superior products. LS Tractor comes with a long list of standard features that are unmatched by other brands and backed with the LS commitment to provide exceptional customer service and satisfaction. You get a lot more for your money with the LS Tractor. Come to the Tractor Store in Richland to experience the LS difference. The Tractor Store in Richland.
Grill lovers already know about Grills of Mississippi, and so should you. Grills of Mississippi carries premium Weber grills,
Yoder smokers, and outdoor kitchen accessories to take your backyard cooking to the next level. Whether you're a weekend griller or a serious pitmaster, Grills of Mississippi has the brands, the knowledge, and the service to help you do it right. Turn your backyard into the ultimate gathering spot. Visit grillsofms.com today. Grills of Mississippi, where great cooking starts.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. One of the Americans who left the cruise ship hit by hantavirus has tested positive while en route to the United States. That person is in a biocontainment unit in Nebraska, along with 15 others who are still in quarantine. 2 people were taken to Atlanta. Officials say that was because of space, but the governor of Nebraska, Jim Pillen, says
no one who poses a risk to public health is walking out the front door of the streets of Omaha or beyond.
Man accused of trying to attack the White House Correspondents' Dinner last month with President Trump and senior members of his administration on hand pleaded not guilty today in court. Cole Allen's lawyers say they're going to ask for the prosecutors to be removed because some were in the room that night and have close ties to President. The president did not say why he rejected Iran's latest proposal to end the war. That war will be a key topic for the president's trip to China this week. China is an important ally of Iran. This is ABC News.
Hey, this is John with MES. That's Mississippi Energy Sources. We sell, service, and install all makes and models of home and business generators. One thing that we do different than a lot of other companies is we do all the work ourselves. We don't use subcontractors. We go from the original estimate, the design, to the final product. That way we can control the quality of the job from the beginning to the end. We are online at msenergy.us.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you. Down features and benefits to create a new you, achieve you, benefit you, and protect you checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, Bank of You. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Metal Builder Supply in Pearl provides quality commercial and residential metal roofing, pre-engineered steel buildings, mini storage facilities, pole barns, and steel components with old-time service and competitive prices. Through our commitment, experience, and expertise, Supply has established a business relationship with our customers that will last a lifetime. When you need metal roofing, reflective insulation, trim, or metal decking, contact Metal Builder Supply online at metalbuildersupplypearl.com.
Tried to be a good boy, and I ain't a boy no more. I've seen some things that a man just can't ignore, and this world's gonna see what I'm standing for. I've kept my peace, but I can't hold my tongue anymore. You can't buy my silence, you can't steal.
Welcome back in to the Matt Bishop Show with Clay Edwards and Andrew Gosser here, filling in for Matt Bishop. That music came up, and I did not know that was music. That was another ad playing
me too.
There, and kind of caught us slipping.
Caught you slipping, Clay.
caught us slipping. Look, we're going to close the phone line for the rest of the show. And Andrew and I are going to chop it up here because we don't have but a few minutes. But I don't know. I'll take one more phone call. Somebody wants to call in. We'll do one more phone call. 601-879-0002. Andrew, off if we were going to break there. You were in the middle of telling us.
It's already gone.
Yeah,
but oh no, what I wanted to say is when we're talking about military stuff and potential classification and stuff like that, I'm always really careful about what I talk about and how I phrase it.
Sure. Being retired and whatnot. All right, we do have a call here. Hey, caller, you're on there.
I cannot wait, Mr. Clay Edwards from 042 area. I love you guys, and I got the answers.
Oh, I've been waiting.
Oh, I heard you. I heard you calling on Kim's show Friday. I think it was Friday, talking about it a little bit. So go ahead, man. Fire away.
That's right. That's right. This is years of studying this. The aliens. I'm gonna explain to you what it is. There's two destructions. I'll make it quick. Okay. There's two destructions mentioned in the Bible.
Just talk slow enough for people to hear you.
Right. There's two destructions in the Bible spoke of in the Old Testament. The last one was the flood. That's all we hear. The first one was when God turned the earth upside down on its axis. The Bible speaks about. It killed everything therein, and the highest mountains went to the lowest points, and the lowest points went to the highest points. I'm quoting scripture, okay? I'm riding down the road, but I ain't got it on me.
And that's the shifting of the poles, right?
Right. What it is was when God turned the earth upside down on its axis, which basically was a pole shift. Back in the day, the Bible says it made the highest peaks go to the lowest, and the lowest peaks go to the highest. That explains science why you can go up to the top of the highest mountains and find seashells, and now they're finding submerged cities and pyramids on the bottom because it used to be inverted. Okay,
well, that's what
that
was the destruction they used in the movie 2012 too. Was the pole shifts in that movie 2012? That was kind of the theory of that movie.
Right. Well, see, and the entities that was alive then, there wasn't humans. They wasn't made in the image of God, but they were people here, things here, right? And when they got all destroyed, they didn't all destroy. Some of them left the surface of the earth with their technology, and still live at the bottom of the oceans. But these things have been around a long time, way before humans was created and placed into the garden. Because when Adam and Eve was placed in the garden, one of those reptilians approached them and started swaying and talking to them. A lot of people call that Lucifer. The spirit of Lucifer, it created those people, but that wasn't Lucifer standing there. That was a reptilian standing there talking to them, and they're still around. And it goes, I'm making a long story short. At the end of the 1,000-year reign of Christ on earth, the Bible says that he will go around, or the Lucifer will be released, and he'll go to the four breasts of the earth to gather the last armies to fight God for the last battle. That's who it's going to be. It's going to be those entities, those demonic entities that had no resting place for their souls, as did the prophets, where God finally made paradise and Sheol, which they call hell, for the resting places. There was no resting places for those things beforehand. The first destruction, they were all evil. The Bible says they were all evil. He destroyed them all. That's where we call aliens came from. And some, the ones that died, are the demons that we know on this earth today. You know, when Jesus slung the demons in the pigs, and they were legions of them, these weren't angels. Only 200 angels fell from heaven. These were the demons of the souls left from those things that was destroyed. And I'll have to absorb all that in. But I'm going to call back with the actual scriptures, so y'all can actually look it up and read it for your own selves, and don't take nothing I say. All right, but I'm out, guys. I got to drop the baby off the babysitter.
Yep.
Thanks, brother. Well, so J.D. Vance mentioned this the other day, that this may not be aliens, these may be demons, and that has been a very prevailing theory the last couple of days. And what I want to ask everybody listening right now is just kind of suspend your disbelief for a little bit, right? And just open your minds up a little bit, suspend your disbelief a little bit, like we're watching professional wrestling a little bit, or we're watching a good TV show, a good movie. Just suspend your disbelief a little bit and just enjoy the conversation, and let your mind wander a little. You know, everything doesn't have to be black and white. Everything doesn't have to be so serious, or you don't have to be so rigid about something that you can't just listen for a minute. That's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to listen and absorb it all and see if maybe I'm wrong about something, or maybe I'm right. You know, so
there's a lot of biblical scripture that insinuates alien life. We had a texter text in talking about 1 Corinthians chapter 14, I think.
Well, Miss Angela had it here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And I don't know scripture that well. I know my verses that I use when I evangelize.
It was 1 Corinthians 15, 40 through 50.
Yep. So go read that and do that. But here's the thing. We're coming to such a point in our society, Clay, where if we would have even had this conversation 10 years ago, we'd be getting laughed out of there. But it's not a laughing matter anymore. People have seen stuff. I know pilots who have seen stuff personally and didn't even talk about it. And this was in the 90s, dude.
Well, inevitably, with all these devices in our hands and cameras and cameras everywhere and the flock systems, just all this stuff, it was going to be harder and harder and harder to keep this stuff secret.
Yep.
And then with AI coming out and people's access to information and more people talking and more podcasts and just more information and the sources of information and media and yada, 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 it was going to get harder and harder to hide it. Let's take one last caller here. Caller, you're our last call of the day. You got 2 minutes. Make it count.
Hey, Big Ed here, Andrew. Talking about this AI and the lack of knowledge, go to Hosea chapter 4, verse 6, and then afterwards take a video on it.
We'll say it one more time.
Y'all have a good
Hosea
day,
what?
Hosea 4, chapter 4, verse 6, 7, and 8.
All right. Thank you, Big Head. Andrew, I'll let you look that up. Let's go ahead. Let's take an early break real quick so we come back and we'll have a good 4 or 5 minutes to land the plane for the day, and we can check out that verse during that. We'll be right back here with Andrew Gosser and Clay Edwards filling in for Matthew Bishop. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in less than 4 minutes. All right, we're still live on the live stream here. I didn't want to boot them again. So let's see here.
You said Hosea 4 verses 4, 5, and 6.
That's what I heard. Now he's talking about artificial intelligence or something.
Yep. Yeah. That makes sense. That's a lot to read. I'll synthesize it.
Yeah. Brave New World over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of bouncing around in our live chat, but I saw the lab and it said I saw Orwell 1984.
Snap, dude.
So I want to read this.
I'll just.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Pete says, I'm sorry. Well, Brave New World says, Pete is what happens when you put incompetent religious zealot as Secretary of Defense. No, I'm not going to call it Department of War. Never mind. That's something different altogether.
Yep.
No, that's not a Hegseth fan.
Yep.
So we're having multiple conversations going on here in the live chat all over the place. But I love that, man. Y'all are welcome to do all that. Just be respectful of one another. And, but you can call anybody each other a blithering idiot if you want.
It's really funny because a lot of the snake eaters and trigger pullers that I know that are active duty right now, who are actually doing the stuff, not the admin troop or the supply troop, but the people actually fighting, all love Hegseth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the people who are the queepy staff type people who can't stand him because he's ripping it apart, which I think is a good thing. I would much rather be led by someone who's got time in the field than someone who's just been an officer his entire life and just done that next job to get to that next staff position, to get to the next promotion, which Hegseth didn't do. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, people are kind of going back and forth here. There's the crew that say it's a senseless war, and they don't like being called the Department of War. It was always called the Department of War. Then they changed the name to the Department of Defense, and the Department of War is the original name of it. I think that sounds badass. I mean, but the people that are there like it.
Yeah.
But, you just see everything is down political lines here, man.
Yep.
If the left does it, the right don't like it. If the right does it, the left don't like it. It's what I was just saying. I don't know if I was during the break or before we came back from it a minute ago, that I like having conversations like this alien stuff every now and then, or this religious stuff, because in theory, this should remove left and right biases.
Yep.
And like you're allowed, believe it or not, guys, you're allowed to have a conversation with somebody you disagree with politically and maybe agree with them on something else.
It's amazing, Clay. It's amazing.
I mean, it really is. Like, I mean, look, there's nobody more politically incendiary than me that kind of draws a lot of things down political lines, but I also do crave real conversation with people that I may disagree with or not disagree with, but about non-political topics. That, like, aliens shouldn't be political. Like, do you think at whatever planet they're from, they look at Democrats or Republicans, or do you think they look at everybody as being one?
Yep. They're looking at us as a single planet. They're not looking at all that other craziness.
Yeah, same with a lot of other countries around the world. They're not divided like America is.
Nope.
They have one singular government. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm just saying we're over here fighting each other when we should be fighting the enemies.
Yep.
But you Democrats just insist on being wrong.
That's how it is. Oh my God. Fire them up.
All right, we're coming back from break. All right, these shows are too short to have music intros that long.
Yeah.
I'm playing. All right, welcome back in to Clay Edwards and Andrew Gosser, wrapping it up here, filling in for Matt Bishop today. Andrew's show's coming up next year on WYAB. He's going to have done 4 hours of radio today.
Yep.
By the time it's all said and done, he'll be here from 10 to noon, right where you're listening at now, 103.9 FM. If you want to watch Andrew on the live stream, you can do that. Just type in Andrew Gosser, Gasser, spelled Gasser.
Yep.
On YouTube, Rumble, and X.
Yep.
YouTube, Rumble, and X. Are you not on Facebook anymore? I tried to tag you in something.
I am so I do stream there, but I never talk about it because I hate Zuckerberg so much, and they have censored me so heavily that even like my Mother's Day message doesn't get any traction, and I'm okay with it. I do. You can look me up there. I might pop up in the search. Like my spouse can't even tag me in posts.
Yeah, I tried to tag you. In a post.
It won't let. And I've got everything wide open, So I just look at it as kind of like a lost cause.
Yeah. Hey, so we did look up that scripture that Big Head had recommended, and it's rather lengthy, so we're going to skip that. But Andrew, you want to tell people what that scripture was again, so they can find it?
Hosea 4:4-6, and I might actually do a segment on it after the monologue next hour if people want to get into it. It's very AI heavy induced, and it's actually very, very enlightening because everybody we want to be right. We want to be correct about every fact that we say. So we run to these cellular devices, get into our favorite search engine /AI, and try to prove ourselves right. And that's kind of what it's talking about. And it's enlightening because there's so much stuff coming at us, Clay. There's so much great content out there to consume, and we have to make choices about what we consume. And we are what we can consume. So if you consume the bad stuff, well, you're going to get bad answers. Consume the great stuff like Clay Edwards and Andrew Gosser.
Well, it's crap in, crap out.
Yeah.
Lloyd texts in on the Ellis Autoplex text line too and says Ezekiel 1:4-28 also describes in great detail aliens that come out of the sky, their craft, and their appearance. And Miss Angela, I do want to read the full text she sent. She said 1 Corinthians 15:40-50 discusses the distinction between celestial and terrestrial bodies, emphasizing the glory of celestial beings. So she just says the Bible does in fact mention aliens, but it's how you decipher it, right?
How you interpret it. Yep.
So
hermeneutic interpretation.
Yeah, Andrew, been fun, brother.
Oh, it's going to be fun. 2 hours. I might change up my show a little bit. We might go down the space alien thing a little more.
Well, it's a very topical opportunity, timely opportunity.
Yep.
Because it's topical right now, and it's something I've wanted to talk about for years, but didn't want to be the crazy guy on the radio talking about aliens. So enjoy it while we can, and who knows what is to come.
Yep.
Burchett says you ain't seen nothing yet. The holy crap moment is still coming. So
Tim knows.
What is that going to be? I'll see you guys back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Andrew Gosser up next, 103.9 WYAB.